Right, that was exciting. How are we all? I'm having a bit of a stressful one. I've been putting some new software and bits and pieces on here to try and oh my goodness me, I look like I've been dragged through a hedge. Good evening. To try and sort some stuff out, and it appears to have completely borked all of my Twitch settings, which is just incredibly helpful. Maybe? Maybe not? Has it? I don't know. Oh no, maybe not. No, okay, maybe we are working. Who knows? It's a Christmas miracle. Anyway, hello, good evening. How are you all? That was one of those wonderful moments where you're like, all right, this is no. Okay, it's working, sort of. Anyway, how is everybody? Are you all good? I was all organised. I hate that. I was all organised and sorted. I was totally there, and then no. Annoying. Vincent, good evening. Konnichiwa. Why are we wait? Shush. Don't start. Mike, good evening. Blissful Badger, hello. Ronald, hello, buddy. How are you? Good evening. Right. What on earth am I doing? Good question. Professional at all times. Damn it. Well, I say professional. That's such an overstatement, I think. Because did you like the new the screeny thing that we made that? I was like, that'll do. That's quite nice. We'll stick that out there. That'll be good. Just for the couple of seconds before I jump in. Yeah. Oh dear. See now, what should have been done, because I was going to jump in 5 minutes before and go live, but then do a little intro thing and then post it everywhere, and it was going to be brilliant. To be honest, I was amazed at my efficiency and capability. And then of course my software went, no, don't be silly. That's not going to work. Like this. And then it goes there. And I really am going to be with you in a second, guys. I'm really sorry about this. Just send it. My dear Lord. Everything has so many questions for me. Rather than just posting stuff, it goes, are you sure you wanted to do the thing you just did? Yeah. That's why I did it. So I think that's all I'm going to do. Oh, hello, Blissful Badger. Also in Twitch. That's nice. Right, you're just painting some 40k as to get mine done before end of the year. Bravo, Blissful Badger. I applaud you for attempting to achieve your objectives. Why are you still at work? Go home. Go home. What's wrong with you? Honestly. Turn off the voice isolation. I don't know, have I got voice isolation on? I don't even know. Hello, Sonny. Welcome. I clogged up my last match for the Escalation League. You was had it stolen from you, my friend. I feel at the very end there. I do feel you did. It's not synced up properly. Come on. Alright, let's see if I can sort this out. Bear with me. Yes, that's fine. Oh, so everyone else have it desynced as well? Machine, welcome, hello. Oh, you just built Sorsha. Lovely. Gene D. Glory. I'm not sure this evening is already in Glory because we've already had like a few. It's working now. Up there clearly. I just needed to look at the microphone in a very serious fashion and it's all worked now. That was all that was necessary. What I love here is I had this all organised. You're in both places, Neil. That is a level of commitment that I applaud. Bravo, bravo. Thank you very much. But I didn't want to hit that button. Why am I hitting that button? I don't know how I manage, guys, to be honest with you. I have a very stressful life. It's a miracle, really. I've been trying to set up everything. I've been trying to set up everything to work, and it's all been a bit of a pickle. So, for those of you who haven't seen, right, professionally, good evening, hello, welcome to the Dice Course, blah, 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 blah. For those of you who didn't see in the last week, we have now got the affiliate status for Twitch, which is amazing, so thank you all for that. Which means that I can earn le revenue from that stuff, which is really, really funky. And we like that very, very much. Because that helps us get toward the goal of doing this more, blah, 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 blah. So that was really cool, but that of course meant that loads of stuff had to happen and loads of stuff need to be filled out and all this kind of stuff. So it's just been, and I've been trying to do it and it's been arguing, and then a whole load of stuff that I thought I hadn't done, it's just told me, yeah, that's finished. Anyway, how's everybody's week been? Hopefully less stressful than the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes that I've lived through. Can't even drink properly now. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And what do we think of Have a New Friend? Just up here. Alan the Alien. I was trying to like lighten up the backdrop a little bit. Just do a little bit more. I think it kind of works. Just there. Patron saint of the stream. Being a massive Alien fan. So we've got like Division, we've got Alan, we've got the Lava. I think it's kind of, and I've got like 2 light sources now, so one over here and one over there. I think we're looking quite professional now. How do we feel about it? Next stage is upgrading a whole load of gubbins that needs to be. Ooh, that's amazing. I turned something off and it's still working. That is glorious. That is absolutely glorious. Here we go. I had this tournament this weekend and I'm still recovering. So Prometheus was at my newbie tournament this weekend, which we're going to talk about. There's much to say. There is much to say. Not least that young Prometheus, boy my lad, managed to come 8th out of a field of 22, including a shed load of veterans on his first Infinity tournament, which I think is truly epic and applause worthy, to be honest with you. It is a fantastic job. So, bravo. Raked the fall leaves yesterday. I still need to go out and get the brush out and sweep all that up. Oh, I don't want to do that. Although we have autumn leaves, not fall leaves. You know, because fancy. But yeah, I do need to go out and do that. There's a couple of places I was looking at the other day around my house, and I was like, I've got to brush that up. I don't want to brush that up. I've got to brush that up. No one else is going to do it. Honestly, how I cope, it's beyond me. It is beyond me. But you're still recovering, are you, Prometheus? Still feeling it a bit. Disappointing. and Psycho, I do feel for you in that last round. So we've got an Escalation League for Infinity, an Escalation League for Bolt Action running in the community simultaneously. And Psycho was top table. He was playing for first place, and it was a very fraught match. And his opponent appeared at certain points to have nothing but 1s on his dice, which is not good in Bolt Action. If you don't know, this is bad news. But yeah, it was an absolute slap fight, I think. And I'm happy to say that you had it stolen. I mean, by a very nice person, a very capable player. But you were stolen. You were stolen, mate. It was terrible. Sorry about that. Can you request a tutorial video on how not to get shot in the back by veteran players? No. There is a video that's planned now, and it should, all being equal, I'm going to check it out this week, because there were kind of a couple of key takeaways that I had from the tournament for newbies, and this is kind of, it got me thinking about the top thing, because watching, I mean, there were 9 newbies in the field of 22. So seeing 9, 8, 27 games, 27 newbie games over the course of one day, there were certain common denominators which sort of flowed through, and I kind of want to put those into a single video. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be top 3 tips for newbies along those lines, for free, and top 6 for members and Patreons, because you guys are special. So, you know, 100% more. Our ITS 17 pack arrived today, plus 8 operations days for our league. Woof! Ah, the ITS 17 pack. Peak Infinity goodness. All the patches, all the good stuff. And the operations decks, you've got to love that. Everybody, because I'll be honest, I completely forgot it. I don't know if some people noticed in the how much does it cost to start Infinity video the other day. Totally missed the operations deck. Just thought, no one needs that. We won't even mention that. The problem when you've been playing so long, you kind of get used to. Everyone has one. I think I figured out the other day there's 5 in the house. We've got 2 from the previous version, 1 from the version before that, and 2 current ones. So you know. Yeah, congratulations, Prometheus. He did a cracking job. He did a very, very good job indeed. I had the pleasure of watching certain bits of his games, and he was playing competently and confidently and beautifully aggressively. And I think in his first game, he spent 5 minutes on his side of the table and the rest of the game on his opponent's side of the table doing unspeakably violent things. I was both proud and disgusted all in equal measure, which is, you know, I think that's a good thing. That's a good balance. It will be. I hope it'll be a nice video. Of course, it'll be a nice video. It's a Dice Gods video. We always do nice videos. Also, shout out to the first Tony Teo Gitsnick. Yes, Gitsnick was his first. It was his first tournament for him to TO. He did a pretty good job, I have to say. I think the whiskey we had the night before helped. Could be slightly biased on that one, but yeah, they did good. I have at least 2 veteran players who need decks for their league. Yeah, there are lots of. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, Blob, you're over. Afro, hello. Raid message got deleted. Nice. Well, Moby Geeks Out, thank you for raiding on Twitch. That's very kind. Euro Blob got told off. Oh, nice. I'm having a good day, thank you, Moby. That's very kind. Oh, that's so. According to Euroblob, I'm goats when it comes to introducing introductions to Infinity and raiding your bank account, Blob. Let's be honest with you, that's one thing I'm also very good at. I will. What Blob's referring to, Infinity the game, tabletop war game, and I've been playing it 13 years. And if you stand still for longer than about 30 seconds joined up, I will evangelise to you to the point where your soul is committed to the system and you buy in, because that's kind of my whole shtick. So you've been warned. Where are we? Back over here. M Night Wins. Good evening. Always a pleasure. Welcome to the party, pal. Mike, speaking of tournaments, it was a little disappointing that there was no organised play at PAX Unplugged this weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pick up on that, to be honest with you, but that is frustrating if not. But I don't know if there are any war calls there, so that could be the, one of those things. The camo tutorial you gave the other day worked wonders. Mr. Van Diem is a very good teacher. He's a very good teacher, has to be said. Yes, because oh my goodness. Because Psycho had his league game on Saturday night and then went off to a tournament on Sunday in Gay Parry, if memory serves. And then had a slap fight there as well. Blob is on Twitch at the same time as being here because he likes to hang with me everywhere. It's just nice. It's just nice. No, Blob, you will never financially recover from this. That's kind of the objective. You're welcome. Thank you for the raid. It's very cute. It's very nice. Nice to feel the love. 6 people on Twitch. Loving it. Overboard, did you miss any clog jokes? First of all, good evening. Welcome. Did you miss any clog jokes? I'm just tired now, to be honest with you. There. Have a clog. Clog in chat. I'm going to clog up the chat. Redirecting funds to the Spanish economy. Got to do our part. Those people are suffering. We need to help them out. It's definitely a thing. Does Infinity Miniatures have any big discounts during Christmas, or are they GW and never really have good sales? Well, they're doing a Black Friday type MacGuffin, I think, where there's like up to 25% off. So yeah, that's starting this week. I don't know. The email came through twice to me, and I deleted it twice. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need more stuff. I need more. No, I don't need more stuff. I definitely don't need more stuff. Some of you saw the picture today, I think, on of my shock army and how that's grown in a matter of a few short weeks, and it's not done yet. So, yeah. Actually, in point of fact, so for those of you who don't know, I decided to rebuild a shock army back on Cemento, which is out of production and therefore really difficult to get hold of, to take to the Interplanetario, the World Championship, next August. I was like, right, I'm going to start putting this together. I know it's going to take ages, I know it's going to take money. It'll be fine. We'll work on it, chip away at it. We'll just get it done really, really slowly. And that's the status as of today. But there's actually more than that already that I just haven't got built yet that needs to go in there. And there's another 12 miniatures in the post. I'm not 100% clear how it all happened, but a lot of it is down to you guys, so thank you very much. So that's amazing. But yeah, this is the epitome of mistakes were made. It's just pretty, but it's also scary. So yeah. I know I gotta paint it all, but I just so excited at the colour schemes I want to put out there. Oh, it's this Friday for 24 hours, is it, Prometheus? The sale from Corvus Belly. Bob, that's the thing. There were so many tools. That's it. And you hadn't heard of some of them. I'm glad you've got your tools up and running so you can actually put the miniatures together and do the thing now. That's really, really cool. I like that very, very much. Yeah, and I know I've got to paint it now, but I've got a cool colour scheme. Cool colour scheme. What I'm looking forward to start off with is I think I'm going to start with the bases and get them all done, because then I'll stick the miniatures on afterwards, just pin them in place. But I wanted to go really fancy and go to town on the bases, so I kind of want to finish them up and then varnish them and get them all perfect, put them to one side and then start on the miniatures. Whereas, do we do blue on green with a shade of blue? No! It's going to be grey on white with green is what's going to be going on with my shock army. Because I did the an interpretation of the studio scheme before. That's the thing. We've already done that. So I want to do something different. I want to sort of spin things up a bit. Where is the best place to purchase them? Direct through them? I need these emails you speak of. Okay. So you need to register with Corvus Belly to get that. I think you can do that on their store, and they'll send you through the stuff. But to be honest with you, where in the world are you located? I can't remember overboard. I'm sure you've told me, but I'm so old. It's a real problem. The Black Friday is Corvus Belly online only. That's absolutely true. Sadly, no clogs on Twitch, but I do have. Those are stunning emojis. I am made breathless by the epicness of your GIF game, emoji game. I don't know what the term is on Twitch. Movie picture things on Twitch Radar. It's beautiful. What made you play Infinity over 40k? I used to play 40k. I stopped playing 40k fully around 5th edition. And when I started playing Infinity, I shifted over because 6th edition happened and my Blood Angels went from being Blood Angels to being red Ultramarines. They lost all their flavour, and I was like, nah. If I can't drop 6 inches from the enemy and then charge into close combat, am I even a Blood Angel? So I was out. And then I started playing Infinity, and that is a very different beast. It's a very different animal, and I found it a lot more interesting and engaging and deep, and there was a lot more fun things to do, and a lot more options, a lot more choice. And it just meant that I kind of was ruined for 40k. I look at it with nostalgia, and I have a lot of love, and they bring out new stuff, especially if it's red. I'm like, ooh, or I still have this absolute dream of one day I will have an entire Aspect Warrior Eldar army. It's not Eldari, it's Eldar. I'll have an entire Aspect Warrior army for them. It's a dream, you know, when I've sold my soul and everything, that's the thing that's going to happen. But no, I don't see myself going back and playing it. It's just not, you know. Sometimes it is another work in the same media that captures the spirit of the original better than the original. I don't think... See, Infinity is a very different... Infinity is a different beast from 40k. Yeah, they use miniatures, yeah, they use a board, but they are a very, very different experience in a million ways. You know, the model count is smaller, the intensity of the games is very different. You're always engaged with Infinity. It's always your turn, in fact. And that makes a very different experience for players. So, yeah. So old. I know I am, Neil. Thank you so very much. I mean, toe-to-toe, your Holy Blue Boys versus the Green Jungle Dudes. That's not a game, my friend. That's a massacre machine. I mean, it's a good job you guys are used to praying, because that's all they're going to have at the end of the day when we face each other. And my shock army is ready. There shall be violence, and it shall be glorious. And it shall only go your direction. Isn't Black Friday the 28th this year? I don't know. According to most companies, Black Friday is somewhere between January and December, and ideally for most of it. Whatever they can do to reach into your wallet and extract the most amount of money in the shortest period of time possible. Yes, I'm a fan of capitalism. How could you tell? So, yeah. Anywho, there's that. I've been doing a lot of, like, the Q&A the other day when I got onto Brexit and the meaning of my life and purpose and all the rest of it. It got a bit deep this week. Neil, so the biggest theme I'm seeing with my bunch of new players, especially those coming from 40k, is non-committal to the flow of the game. I see a lot of caution based on the history of playing games. That last 6 turns rather than 3. Absolutely. You see that a lot, and you also see people who are very reticent, very very unwilling to risk. You know, they're very risk averse. It's like, this is Infinity, this is controlled aggression, this is violence, this is destruction. You will lose your troopers. That is inevitable. It just depends whether it's going to be a critical failure or whether it's going to be a worthwhile trade. There is going to be death. And that's something you have to adjust to and something you have to accept and move on from, because it is, in fact, inevitable. So, and it's like, 1 second, guys. I think I need to boop this. So, that was cool. Technical difficulties. Right, back in the room. Hello. Overboard. Hey guys. Yes, he's old. Don't give him slack for remembering when sand was... Really, Overboard? That's where we are now. Night Wind. Yeah, the date itself is the 28th, but so many places are doing sales further and further out from the date itself. Yeah, it's kind of Black Month, which... I don't know. It's risking that trade. That BRB screen is lacking clogs, and B should be accompanied by elevated music. Yeah, I wanted to put some sound and stuff to it, but what I wanted to do is do something a little bit nicer than just like, be right back. So I had that animation of the flashy, and I'm like, I'll put that on and put a little logo to the flash in and all that MacGuffin, just trying to look a little bit more professional. But the elevator music, I'm not there yet. The licensing can just be murderous. Sorry, I'm just seeing that Streamlabs is going berserk on Twitch and just I'm sorry guys, I think I need to sort of retweak what's going on with Streamlabs moderation on Twitch, because it appears to be a bit enthusiastic. I do apologise, Moby Geeks out. And yes, violence, absolutely, Moby Geeks. Blob, my take on Infinity from my one practice game is only 3 turns, but so much happens in those 3 turns. It really does. It's 3 turns that can take, well, when you're good at the system, it's 2 hours of just absolute anarchy and destruction. There's bits flying everywhere, and there's bits flying off, and there's people dying, there's stuff dropping in from orbit, people appearing from nowhere, and just, yeah, it's glorious for that. Euroblob, when one dude can move and shoot several times, you get your John Wick action hero moments. If the dice gods allow. Well, sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Me dice gods giveth, and we taketh away. It's kind of our whole shtick. So we be fickle creatures, at best. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of, sorry, Nightwind. Having the BRB screen with some flashy bits rather than static screen lets people know it hasn't locked up. Exactly, and that I haven't logged off, but that it's just beep, 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 rather than, yeah. That's absolutely true. And it's hexagons, and if you know anything about Infinity, hexagons, it's definitely a thing. Unlike Warhammer, where it's 40 minutes of action and 40 minutes of sipping your drink and rolling the odd save. Yeah, that's the issue that I have. So I find, if it's a kind of a chilled game, which is what I've, rightly or wrongly, I find with Bolt Action, it's a very chilled type system. I have no problems with just spending my opponent's turn, rolling the odd save, and doing that. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But if it's crunchy, if it's going to take me a lot of time commitment, then I desire the ability to affect what's going on. I want to be involved. I want to be engaged. And with Infinity, you are engaged. You are involved. And that does make it very intense. It does make it very tiring, which I think the newbies from last weekend would agree. Top tip. Envatic elements is a place to go. Yeah, no, I know. It's, candidly, Neil, there are places where I need to invest at the moment, and there are places where I don't need to invest. And one of the things that I wanted to do was get this place sorted a little bit, so I've just chucked some money at that. And I have some other things that I need to invest in the immediate future, which takes priority over elevated music. Besides which, that clip is only, I think, about 10 seconds long. So that's going to be it's going to be a lot. One thing that I was thinking about beyond elevated music because of that was some type of ambient sound. But we'll see. You mean overboard sausage? You mean my expensive models that I've spent hours and hours painting get taken off the board in turn 1, left and right? So it is like 40k. Yes. Also no. But also yes. It absolutely is. Yes. It can be like a new model syndrome. It follows you in every system. So you get the miniature, you paint it beautifully, you put it on the board. It's the first one to die. Nature of the beast. I can't do it all at once. No, that's absolutely true. Especially when you have as many plans and schemes as I do at the moment. It's quite insane. I'll check it out. I will check it out, the royalty-free stuff. I will see what I can come up with. New model syndrome is a thing, Euroblob. It absolutely is. It's this little guy is still getting painted on stream at the moment, and he's going on this. He's not a new model syndrome, but he is like the paint job is new on him. And I'm aware of the fact that when he goes on the board for my league game on Thursday, he's going to die. I know that. He's got more paint in him now. There's just going to be nothing but bits / extra chunky. That's just the nature of the beast. It's fine. In the game after that, he'll do fine. He'll do great. In the game before that, he did great. So, can't complain too much. Mostly because no one cares. But yeah. I wonder though, how does new model syndrome apply when your entire army is new models? Yes, you do just get tabled Euroblob. That's what happens. If you are stupid enough to paint a full army, brand new, and then play a game, you asked for it, basically. There's no one else to blame but yourself. No one else to blame but yourself. Have literally just today fitted another wall-mounted boom arm into the studio ready for filming this weekend, and that's been on the to-do list for over a year. Yeah. It's one of those things where when you're doing this kind of stuff, because I started this kind of as I don't know. I started this, I think, to get it out of my system. That was I had an idea and I wanted to be done with it and get it out, because I'm the kind of person that if I have an idea, I'll keep chewing on it until I resolve it. So I just, right, fine, get rid of it. And the problem was, when you're a writer, there is a thing, darlings, when you're a writer, when you're creative, when you're a writer, there's a thing called plot bunnies, as in rabbits, plot rabbits. And plot bunnies breed. If you have one plot bunny, it'll make 2, and 2 will make 8, and 8 will make 100, and it's a real issue. And I discovered that I have the same issue with YouTube videos. So I'm like, I'll do that video, and I'll do that video, and then I'm like, ooh, I could do those. That would be cool. Oh, I could do those. That would be cool. And as I say, having done the tournament this weekend with the newbies, I was like, oh, I could do this video covering the specific hot takes of that, what that experience was. Okay, cool. Actually, I was helping a new TO into the fold. It's the second person I've trained up as a TO. I can do some hints for first-time TOs. This is good. We can do these 2 things. This is 2 videos. By the end of a 10-minute thinky session, I have about 8 videos that I can do just off of the tournament that happened last weekend. And I'm like, And then you have to shoot all the things, and you have to get all the stuff, and you have to become a relatively capable like sound engineer and vision engineer and editing engineer, and I mean marketing's my beans anyway, so that's fine. But so much, it's not fair. My life is really hard. Isn't it a tradition for freshly painted models to get obliterated turn 1? Maybe yes, it is. Them's the laws. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just how the world works. I think it's because the player is excited to use it and thus may overextend it, or the opponent is like, that's your new model, is it? Would it be a shame if something happened to it? There is that, but I think there's also, if it's a newly painted model, you probably haven't run it before. So therefore you put it on the table like, I don't know what this does. Yay! And then you find out when bits start falling off and catching fire and there's screaming. So. Supposed to keep the bunnies in the holes. What you'd wish to do, Blissful Badger, with your bunnies is entirely between you and yourself and your therapist, if you'll keep anyway. But that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So what are we going to do tonight? What are we going to do tonight? I'm glad you asked. I know you're all very concerned. I like to have plans. No mic's in the room, so I'm getting a question at some point. A couple of Neil has also thrown a few mic questions around the place, so I'm expecting that too. I'm expecting clog jokes from you guys. Don't disappoint me. So that's nice. If I'm lucky, Kaz will be in and harass me about Star Wars Legion. I'm definitely resisting. My dog's going to make noises. Eldfall, Neil. Why would you possibly care about Eldfall? So, ultimate distraction card effects. Yeah, definitely the ultimate distraction card effects blob. That is definitely the way forward. So, what you want to... You're sort of vaguely interested in this thing? Just... smallest box in the world. And yet so cool. Look at it. It's so nice. Look at the artwork on here. And then you got... No, we'll look at this later. Yeah, so we've got that coming. And then we're going to look at that. That needs to we need to look at that too. That's the thing that needs to occur. So we're going to. We're going to talk about how my soul is slowly dying with the... where is it? Can we see it over here? With this thing here. You see this building here? Oh my goodness. That is the thing. We're going to talk about that as well. And we have to actually talk properly about the tournament from last weekend, because Star Wars Legion, let's go! No! There is... I already have one stupid bet running, which I think was Blob's fault, about tasting paint, so we're not doing any more. Although I would... they keep releasing more and more stuff about Star Wars Legion, and every time they do, there is a little part of me. So when I'm old. So when I was a kid, my dad had the vinyl soundtrack of the original vinyl soundtrack of Star Wars, and I used to listen to that and play with my Kenner Star Wars toys. So there is a little part of me, little 4 or 5-year-old me inside, that as soon as someone goes Star Wars, goes, and as soon as I see the pictures, goes, oh, and then reaches for the wallet. It's like the little hand comes in for the wallet. Give it a look. Get off. It's a problem. So every time I see it, I'm more and more tempted. But I have a lot of other things to spend money on, so. Pretty Eldfall box indeed. Just finished my Command Vic Africa Core Rommel, so he can drive around in style and not get sand in his clogs. For God's sake. Rommel did not have clogs. Probably. I doubt Rommel had clogs. That would be weird. But good job. Good job, Psycho. Who won the tourney? A Belgian interloper came across the border and stole the win. No, a guy called Prefect. He is, in my opinion, arguably one of the best players in Benelux at this point. He is an exceptionally good player, and intimidatingly so. He's very, very capable. He's been playing about 10 years, and he has a way of playing, a fluidity and a capability that is truly amazing, I have to say. I have nothing but love and respect for the chap, because he does phenomenal work. Hang on a second, I just want to check one thing. No, I can't see the thing. I wanted to see a thing and I couldn't see the thing, and that's really annoying. So, yeah, it was really cool, and it was really, really good to see the number of people that we had come in and, you know, do the sort of thing. But yeah, it was a really fun tournament. And right, hang on, back in the room. I was temporarily off. One question about the tournament, Corvosphere. Come back to that. Building not painted yet. Well, crack on. Honestly, I can't believe you haven't painted it yet, Psycho. It's very disappointing. Tasting painting water specific. No, was it painting water? I thought it was tasting paint. Painting water is easy. I do that in a normal painting session. I look forward to doing it on stream one day. Hello. Sandjowers walked in a single line. Yes, they did. No, Mike, you see, you were doing well. Sandjowers walked in single file to hide the number of clogs. Aside from some difficult questions, I thought you were the nice one. Then you pull that stuff out. Unbelievable. No, so how did it do? So we had a 22-player tournament, which is bonkers. Let's be honest. In May next year, we have a 50-player satellite, and at one point we were around 50%. We had one drop, so I didn't play. We had 24 players at one point, so we were nearly at 50% of a satellite in just a sort of an average Saturday tournament, which is just insane. And I think it's a real testament to the way that my local community is engaged and switched on and wants to go. It's like, do you want it? Yes, we do. Okay, I was thinking about, no, that's great, we'll do it. And I love that energy, and I love that enthusiasm. It's really, I relish it, and I want to do more to encourage it and keep it going. It's really, you see this momentum and this community just engaging and embracing the system so heavily. And the Bolt Action team is nowhere near a distance behind it. They are right on the heels, smaller but growing all the time, and it's just lovely to see. So I want to keep that going. So yeah, 22 players just on an average Saturday, which according to Corvus Belly should have made it a 5-round 2-day tournament. Like hell. Go Bucks, you know it. The Buccaneers is our community name, and the Bucks definitely rock at the moment. Congrats on attendance. We usually get 8 or so for an average tourney, and that's I think that's absolutely perfectly awesome. I think that's great. I think 6 is fantastic. A round robin at 4, perfect. It's just incredibly awesome to get that number of people who want to sort of come along and throw dice and hang out. And what I loved the most during the day was seeing a whole bunch of people that knew each other or knew someone who knew someone else, just chatting and having a laugh. And some people haven't seen each other for a while, so it's good to catch up. And it was just this really nice kind of chilled, warm vibe, and that worked really well because it was a newbie tournament, so we weren't reporting to ITS. This wasn't going to be going against anyone's global rankings. This was just come along, do stupid stuff, and help the newbies. And we actually manipulated the pairings so that, apart from one game where I sort of screwed up, apart from one game, a veteran played a newbie every round, which was cool. Which was really, really nice, and I saw a lot of the newbies really getting switched on, getting engaged, getting new things to think about, and new approaches and new ideas. That was really phenomenal. So I really, really appreciated that. It was really, really cool. So, you're a blob. I think it was painting water produced by various paints, but it could be licking the paintbrush too. No. You said paint water. That's the thing. If I get to 200, that's what we're doing. Blob, I will come back to that in a second. Global rankings I'll come back to. I might be disqualified from the tournament I had Sunday for doping after 4 hours of sleep between escalation and getting in the car. I was 8 Red Bull by the time I finally came back. Ye gods, have you slept yet? If I was on 8 Red Bull, I wouldn't sleep for the whole week. My God, man, you must be absolutely tripping balls. Do you even know you're on here? Yes, it's been a long time since I've drunk that much. Global rankings. That's news to me. We need to check that way down the road. What's my clog ranking? I'm actually 5,500 pico clogs, which is, if you know your clogs, you know what I mean? We all know what that means. So, yeah. One sec. So what ITS rankings, there is a global system. So ITS Infinity Tournament system, every year we have a season. That season brings with it a new pack of missions. Now, those missions are what you tend to play throughout the year, even if you're not at a competitive event, because it's just the latest, greatest way to play the game. There'll be a variety, there's always a theme and a feel. This year we have Treasure Hunters, which is what we have Sorsha for. She's a special miniature that you get in the ITS pack, and she does a thing, and there's a special thing with the thing and the thing. That will drop next year. This year, if you have Sorsha, then you can use her in every army currently. But then Sorsha will go for next year, the following season, ITS 18. If you go to an official event, then your results, how many points of your army survives, how many objective points you receive, and how many tournament points you receive, will be recorded and thrown into the mix with everyone else in the world. And you'll be able to see how you do, and where you sit in the world, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really nice. You don't have to do it by any stretch of the imagination, but depending on what you're after, there tends to be a variety of different types and styles of field of tournament out there, from the very, very crunchy, like, I'm not going to say sweaty, because Infinity doesn't do sweaty very well. Some people try to make it that kind of a, I'm going to win type thing, and you tend to see them. They're slightly bright pink and literally sweaty and have dubious declaration processes. Anyway, I always want to tell them to do Mission 1 in my series and go, look, learn to play Infinity, Mission 1, watch that, come back, we'll play again. Anyway. But you tend to get more of a chilled, collaborative feel because Infinity lends itself to that. You have to communicate with the other person well and a lot, so then you tend to find that it's not so sweaty and grumpy and so even casual players do tend to try out the odd tournament now and again, just because why wouldn't you? And see how you do. So yeah, it's awesome. If you know, you know. That's absolutely true. Serious question. As soon as Mike puts like serious question, I have one question, I'm both aroused and perplexed, all in equal measure. Do you still see people sandbagging tourneys to get pushed up in SOS, strength of schedule. No. Most of all, it doesn't tend to work that way, to be honest with you. I'm tend to keep an eye on things like that, and I think if I saw a player doing it, then I'd have a chat. But it doesn't really work that well for Infinity. It wouldn't have worked this last weekend because it was a newbie tournament, but even with our competitive tournaments, ITS tournaments, you know, if you lose to a player, your ELO is going to get doinked anyway. So you can't really afford to, you need to go full tilt. If you go in, you go. Simple as that. I imagine tournaments can be sweaty for other reasons. Yes, they can. The excitement of all those beautiful people in one room, it does get a little bit, sometimes the tension is real. But people used to throw the first round on purpose just to catch later rounds. Yeah, I get that. But I think it depends on, I've not seen it. Let's say that. I've not seen it. And I know that my local community wouldn't do it. That's not the whole ethos that we bring to the game in the community. So I've never even heard one of my players suggest doing it. I've heard, I've heard the theory, but I've never seen it, and I've not heard of it happening in the wider community. So if you know different, let me know. Lots of people cramped in a room. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're not that cramped. It's pretty stout at ours. I mean, any room with Papa Hydra in is sweaty, right? I didn't want to say it, but I mentioned it. But it was really cool. It was really nice. We had like 2 hour and 15-minute rounds, so it was a bit longer than usual. The newbies did really well. Even the ones that had only been playing 6 weeks. One of the guys that had been playing 6 weeks came in 12th out of 22, which I was just like, to be fair, if you can do that after, and hello, Larkbeard, good evening, welcome, hello, good to see you, buddy, I hope you're well. Maybe Geeks Out, can you get my opinion on Trench Crusade? Yes, you can. I think, I know nothing of the rules. I've seen a lot of the aesthetic. I think it looks like, it looks like 40k for grown-ups. They took the aesthetic of the Grimdark and they went, now let's make it nasty. And I like that. I'm here for it. That kind of horror, really kind of gritty type feel. I think that's really, really cool. I've not looked at the rules because I don't have time. It's a straight answer. I'd love to sit down and look at them. And I think now that they're producing their own miniatures as well, I need to sit down and actually look at the rules and have a moment and have a think. Because, you've got to have an opinion. Everyone's got one. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued enough to check them out. So you need to start bringing your A game next time. Now, so for those of you who don't know, that little KV Dearlu guy, that's Machine. Machine is our local Machine. He's only been playing Infinity just over a year, and he took to it like he was born for it. It is absolutely the man's system. And he started with military orders, and he's done unspeakable war crimes in betwixt. There's moments I've actually had guilt about teaching him to play the game. When you're like, oh, don't do that. Oh, don't leave him alone. He's dead. We've had that. He's done that to other players, including veterans. That's what Machine has done. And then also he's introduced people like Blob for their first game, and it went really well. And it was really nice because Machine is not a total machine. He's a decent human being as well. But last weekend at the tournament, he played Nomads for the first time. I think it was your second game ever of Nomads was the first round of the tournament. I think that's right. So he still did well. I think he was 4th. Overall, he sat there going, oh no, I'll do better next time. Yeah, 4th was awful, mate. Terrible. I should go home and give up on that one. I have seen people play, and wow, I can't wait. Was it all lulling me into a false sense of security? No, Blob, he knows that if he's mean to you in a demo, he'll get a look. He'll get grumpy me. And I know I look lovely, but you don't want to make me... I get crossness on this face, you may never recover. But no, he's a fantastic person to learn the game from. And we're looking at building more. I need to build more people who can demo the system, like Machine Cam and a couple of others, but just build a structure around it. Because I mean, I put a post up on on Reddit today, and have got in contact with somebody who lives half an hour up the road. Who's like, "Oh my god, I've never played in person." Right, I don't know where he is, but he's probably going to need. I always tend to find it's worth doing an intro game just to make sure that they're where they need to be and there's no gaps in their knowledge. I can't do all the intro games. One of our newbies graduated this weekend from being a newbie to being a vet. He's definitely a veteran now. The violence that he did and the competence with which he played, he is a veteran. But we still, I think that will put us. This guy I don't think is a veteran. A newbie, but I think we're at somewhere in the region of 14 newbies currently. I can't do all that on my own. So we're looking at training more people up, but I have complete confidence in the machine. Blob noted that Trench Crusade is surprisingly easy to pick up. I shall check it out. I shall have a look. The dog is trying to die. Can you not die? Or if you're going to do so, quietly, please. Honestly. I'm trying to stream over here. We have a dim view of newbie bashing around here. No, we don't do seal clubbing, newbie bashing, anything like that. That's not permitted in this community. Others may allow it, but not round here. You play machine proper, you'll see the Rutger Hauer scene at the end of the game. Machine is an epic player. He is a very, very good player. So you can attest to that. You can attest to what, Richard? Good evening. Blade Runner. Yes, indeed. You found another lost so close. Yes, I did. It was on the pictures from the tournament on the weekend on Reddit. He was like, "You're where?" And I was like, "We're here." And he's like, "There's no players around." I can't throw a reasonably weighted D20 without smacking at least 2 Infinity players. So there's plenty around. Plenty. Go, Helly. Helly is the guy that got upgraded from newbie to pro, or experienced player. Nobody needs a negative game experience to start the journey. That's absolutely true, and it is so incredibly short-sighted to club noobs. Because if you club noobs, noobs don't come back, and if you don't come back, you don't get players. And if you don't get players, you end up doing the thing you should never do, which is playing with yourself. Although there are systems where you can play with yourself, but as a general rule, it's frowned if you go to a game store and start playing with yourself. Don't do that. To be fair, newbie bashing is just about the most surefire way to kill a game. Absolutely. I have hot takes on the eventual outcome of Trench, and I will refrain. No, share with the group. I'm intrigued, Gene. Tell the world what you think. I know you're not here for a long time. I know you're here for a good time, so give us your thoughts. Let me go in, soiled, to Trench Crusade with your views and thoughts. I need to know. I do look forward to getting run through the machine proper once I know what the clog I'm doing. For God's sake. One of my daughters was running around literally in clogs today, and the temptation to post it on Discord was so high. I managed to not, because we don't put our kids on the internet, but I was just like, nope. Yeah, well, Blob, I'm looking forward to you coming to the Netherlands for a weekend, say in May, playing 5 games at the Satellite Tournament and rocking it like a boss. That's what I'm looking forward to. You can play them in person then. In terms of Infinity, I'm having an issue with a newbie trying to be a bully, so I'm open to advice on that. Yeah. There are multiple ways that you can deal with it. It depends on the level of maturity of the individual. It depends on your read on them as a person. There are several ways that I've dealt with it. The most direct, but one that I'm the least happy with, is that you put them up against a veteran and you say, go weapons free. All rules, all violence, end him, crush his soul. When that's achieved, you take him to one side and say, look, being smacked around isn't fun. You're not helping anyone. You're not helping the community. Please stop. Now, you know how it feels. It's not good. If they're a reasonable individual, you have that conversation, but without smacking them around in the first place. And you just have the chat of, look, what you're doing, what I see your behaviour is doing is this. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but that's going to have a negative reaction for the people who are trying to get into the game. Can you please stop? Either tone it down, because I would love you to continue to bring new people into the game and interact with them, or only play veterans who can poke up with it. Those are your two choices, because otherwise you're going to damage our community, and I'm working hard to get this going, so please stop. Those are the two short ways I would deal with it. Larkbeard, what are you so jelly of? I missed it. This is the problem with delays. I'm just, yeah. You're not doing it in gear. It's that hand it's supposed to be, isn't it? Hello. Yes, yeah. Neil, it does suck when you get newbies doing that. I have that. I've had that before. You get somebody with a little bit of knowledge that tries to intimidate other people, and it's just like, can you not? It's just, no one's impressed. You're just peeing into the breeze. It's no, please don't do that. Of course we are in gear, and well, much better for your presence. That was what I was going for. It didn't come out, but you know what I mean. Don't break the thing. Contaminator. Again, Terminator music as soon as you walk in the room. Hello, and I know that's not, but it also, for me, that's where I'm at. Gene Dean, you're a blob. The newbie is trying to win and beat people up because he has read the rules and watched playthroughs. Got super aggressive in his second game because he lost his first game. Oof, yeah, that needs an attitude adjustment, and I'd start with the verbal. I see you're passionate. I see that you want to win, and that's commendable, but in order to win, you need opponents, and you're not going to have opponents if you behave like a dick. Yes, I swore on stream. We were all here. That was the moment. But those people, nah. Gamer rages are still a thing. Yeah, table flippers, I can't be doing with it. Don't get me wrong, being passionate about your game, caring about your game, being frustrated if it's going wahoonie shaped on you. Yeah, I'm with you. I have those moments. There have been moments where I got salty in a game. I have gotten salty in a game. I will get salty again, I know it. If your dice are just like, nah. I nearly got salty last time I played Machine because my dice needed 13s and they rolled 14s consistently, and it just got ridiculous. Nothing you can do about it, and you do get a little like, but there's a difference between doing that and being what I said earlier. Depends if they can take criticism or not. If they can't take criticism, then they're better off finding a solo game than infecting a community with their negativity. Oh yes, sorry, Moby Geek, I'm aware of the fact you probably don't know Infinity. You have a target number that you aim to roll below on a D20. So if you go over the target number, then it's a bad day. And if you go too low, that's also a bad day, because your opponent also rolls dice, and if they get a higher number than yours but below their target number, they can remove your dice. In fact, they could remove all of them, and there's a possibility you can get hurt in your opponent's turn, because Infinity is great. Hot take on Trench. The convo is always, will it take over 40k? And my hot take is that in a year's time, it will be 40k competitive with none of the joy of the kit bashing community. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly, I can see that. Although they're bringing out their own miniatures, aren't they, with multi-part, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Nothing that good old man-to-man can't solve. You'd be amazed. I've met people that you give them the talking to and it doesn't work. I've had that with cheaters before. I've had that with people who blatantly cheat. And I've had the conversation with them, look, if you persist, I will exclude you from the community. And it's not a thing I want to do. But if you make me do it, I will do it. Oh, no, don't cheat. Okay, no problems. Inside of a week. Guess he's just got a ban. You did. You hate doing it, but sometimes you have to. You have to think about the wider picture, the community beyond that. If the community is going to be healthy, then you need to deal with that negative behaviour. So, In my experience, there'll always be these people, and all we can do is hope to get through to them. Yeah, you've got to try. I'm a great believer that you have to try. You have to give it a go. You have to try and step up and be like, look, your behaviour is counterproductive to your objectives. You want to win. The only way you're going to win is by playing people. And so there has to be a community for you to play. Jelly have so many players around. Well, if you move over this way, Larkbeard, and you're more than welcome to, you can be. Hang on a second. I'm gonna do the dirty flex for a minute and look at how many people we have in how many we have in our Buccaneers Infinity group, because we just gained 3 Belgians because they decided to join. 37. I think of those, probably 34, 33 are active Infinity players. So come this way, join in that group. You'd be here, it'd be great, you'd be welcome. About the newbie, yeah, giving them a reality check with a veteran, maybe a good start. If they seem receptive, remind them that if they keep behaving like that, no one wants to play them. Or that you just continually pair them with a veteran. It's amazing how much having your teeth pulled out in the first turn will sharpen the brains about how unpleasant it is for someone else. Yeah, absolutely. And I never want to. Sorry, it's a 2-player game, so that will mean that they won't be playing at all. And I never want to see that. I think it's such a sad situation when you hear about communities where somebody has had such negative behaviours that they have been removed from a community, been banned from a community, and that's such a sad thing. That makes me feel so bad for them, because this is a hobby, and they obviously want to do the hobby. They just don't have their head on straight, so they're not, they're not doing a good job at being a part of the community that they want to be part of. It's just, I wish they were, all of them. I want to give them all a hug and be like, look, just play nicely, it'll be great. Shampoo. Hey, good evening. How did the newbie tournament go? It was glorious. It was incredible. 22 Infinity players in one place, throwing dice, laughing, having adventures, all kinds of just weird and wonderful stuff, and doing fantastically. The 9 newbies that were there absolutely did. I'll be honest, I was like, if we get any, there were 22 players, if we get any above the halfway mark, I'm happy. In fact, I'm blown away. And we ended up with 2 clearly above the halfway mark and another one just on the halfway mark, and it was like, that is way better than I thought. And it was a real laugh, and everyone learnt lots, and then there was like beer and drinking, and it was just good. I was very, very happy. Do I get treated with the American accent when you say my name? Did I do an American accent? Possibly. Only if you're lucky. Only if you're a very, very good contaminator. So you didn't that time. Painting up the newbie kicking trip. Don't, Machine. Don't joke. People don't know that you're joking. It sounds like you're then a seal clubber, and you're not. So, LARP is also over in Twitch as well. This is nice. Twitch is here, and then this is it. I'm loving this. Thank you for everybody being everything, because it's helping me. It's helping me eventually. So where's the button? There's so many. One thing I will say about Twitch is there is so much information that it gives you all the time. My goodness. With Finch Crusade being mini agnostic, I don't see why folks wouldn't enjoy doing kick bashing for it. Well, they've started making their own miniatures now, Nightwind. They've started producing their own multi-part plastic kits and upgrade kits and stuff, so it's kind of not now. Although they're like, you can certainly still do that. Can you? Blissful Badger, I roll low consistently 40k, that's why I choose Infinity. No, not really, but, well, if you're a low roller, I guarantee that Infinity will make you a high roller, because that's what tends to happen. That I will never use outside of a tournament game. What are you painting up? Machine, what are you painting up that you'll never use outside of a tournament game? Yeah, Blob, I remember taking a mandatory first aid course, and we had an attendee who flat out refused the notion of helping someone passed out on the street and insisted that keep walking was the right thing. Yeah, some people are just dumb. But then some people, that's how they deal with this stuff. I I did actually not help somebody on the street the other day. I did do that. But it was actually a kindness, because I was riding my bike with one of my kids in the front, and there was a kid probably about 9 years old in front of me, and he was messing around and showing off, kind of like doing like wheelies and like skidding his bike and all the rest of it, and being really kind of Captain Big Nuts, you know. And then he did a skid, but it had just rained, so his bike kind of slid out from underneath him and he sort of landed on his side. It didn't land particularly hard, but you saw the dent in the ego. And my initial thought was, well, stop and be like, are you okay? But you kind of don't want the person that just saw you fall on your ass to go, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. There was no one else around, and he was already getting up and he wasn't hurt. But I was just like, actually, it's a kindness to keep going and just act like no smile, just keep going. Hopefully he learned not to be an idiot on his bike, but yeah, it's a kid, who knows. Can't imagine playing a game with that person, no. I can imagine they did fail the course. Oh, there he is. There he is, young Sven. So Sven Helder, who's just 406, who's in the chat, that is the young man who went from being a newbie when we started the tournament to being a full-blooded, experienced player by the time we left, because the things that I saw him doing on the board were glorious and beautiful, and I was both disgusted and happy as well, same as I was with Prometheus. It was just glorious. It's everything that Infinity should be. A war crime and a good time, as it should be. So yeah, peak Panodoc, best. Yes, Lark Beard. Ignoring somebody who needs help is definitely a Pano Trauma Doc move. That is definitely. I'm glad you had a good time as well, Sven. That is lovely to hear. And Gitsnick, the TO from the weekend. Round of applause, everybody, for Gitsnick. He popped his TO cherry this weekend and did a glorious job in the process. We should call out his epic effort as we stand here. Press send should have been one sentence. Red eye. Ah, okay. You're doing the red. Yeah, that doesn't see the table apart from at tournaments, you filthy mongrel. He called me young. Sven, you're younger than me. You're younger than me. And you look like a... I've said this a million times. You look like a Viking god. I fully anticipate that you're going to live forever. And it's glorious if you do. I'm totally here for it. Applause for Sven. Applause for Sven. Well done, Sven. Woo, woo, woo. Psycho, as a 10-year Red Cross veteran, take it from me, if they get up, you ignore them. If they stay down, you grab your bag from the trunk. Exactly. Exactly. It's not the ones that are complaining about it that are the issue, it's the one that's silent. So, he did earn it. Give him the biggest yell. That was it. Go get stick. Yay to the new TA. And he was straight away like, no, I want to do another one. I want to do one on my own and just have the training wheels just taken off completely. Euroblob, you haven't thought about LARPing in ages. That's a blast to blast. I've never LARPed. I've never LARPed. It's not something I've done. I love it. I think it looks really cool, and I love it when you see like people doing cosplay as well. I think those two things, though not the same, are really awesome. But I just never. It's one of those things. Same list as Moonstone. Love the idea. Never happening. Yeah. Okay, done with the other big thing in Moretz. You're painting more stuff, Mr. Van Diem. Outstanding work. The Buccaneers are now sort of stood down. Our local community is stood down until January, apart from our Christmas party in the middle of December, which is going to be anarchy. It's going to be great. I think there's like 30 odd people. Well, I think there's like 40 odd people going now, actually. I think we're up to 40 people going to this party. That's just... You ran like 20 wargamers and their partners into a restaurant run by another wargamer for an evening. What could go wrong? Although his food. Mwah. Anyway, what we're doing next. So yes, the tournament was epic. I learnt lots. After the experience that I had with Gitsnick, we're going to do the video talking about how to be a TO and things to do as a TO for the first time. That's going to be cool. And the video about newbies and top 6 for members, top 3 for non-members. See, So Gitsnick is the typical. He's raised in the UK, so he's got that typical like, no, don't make it about me, make it about somebody else. He did a great job. Epic work. So exactly, Euroblob. Few men will do the job of being TO. Few people, especially few people, will TO without playing as well. Will take the time to just run the event. Most people will want to do both, and that's not the done thing. So you did a fantastic job. Of course Van Diemen's painting Morats, because he's going to finish the Morats before I've even started. Anyway. So okay, I want to get into reenactment till I saw the prices for the kit. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a company in the north of the Netherlands, and they do wargaming stuff. And they do LARPing stuff too. And I can't remember why, but I was looking at their LARPing stuff and I was like, how much? Dear God, I see what people make it themselves. I'm going to start continuing Cosmo this weekend. Woo-hoo! I imagine more crams at dinner time, always. Sven, you need to get to my place and kick me butt. Yes, you do, Sven. You need to go and teach machine a lesson. This is perfectly reasonable. Yes. Working up the courage to build my first box of them. Blob, just do it. These are miniatures, okay? It doesn't matter, all right? If you have any issues with construction or anything like that, you have the Discord. You're in the members Discord. You can go in there. You can ask questions. If you're confused, you lost anything, whack it in there. But just do it. Just get on with it. I used to so in a previous life with a previous iteration of my existence, I was a sales and marketing director. And what I used to say to my sales team is the important thing to do is lick the frog. When you get to your desk at 9 AM, you need to lick a frog that day. You know you have to. There's no choices. You have to do that thing. It's a horrible thing. No one wants to do it, but you're going to have to lick that frog. You lick the frog at 9:01 because then you have the whole day frog free. If you spend the whole day knowing that before 5 o'clock you've got to lick that frog, that day sucks, because in your future there is a licking of a frog to occur. Lick the frog. Build the miniatures. Get it done. See where you are. It's going to be glorious. Then you can play in person. And when you can play in person, you can start building a network and growing and coming over here in tournaments, and which is amazing. It's going to be great. Do it. Get done. Crack on, buddy. Have you decided on the paint scheme? There are so many paint schemes. Remind me on Discord, and I'll send you pictures. I have alternate Morat paint schemes. I'll send you pictures. So much fun. I was considering a wintry theme. Will it break anything if I gave them blue skin? No, right. Morats aren't real, Blob. I know that's going to be a surprise. Okay? Angry space monkeys, not real. I've seen them with blue skin, purple skin, grey skin. Do what you want. Make them yours. Own it. Be happy. Love it. Do what you want. I give you full permission. If anyone objects, send them to talk to me. Check the Discord in a minute. Good job, Mr. Bandim. Oh, Sven and machine. Fight. Good. Go. Play, dice, brilliant. Board the fun bus and get building. Choo, lads. I could tell you've never licked a frog. That's not actually true. Anyway, moving on. Frog in gear, that's right. What if you've only got a toad? Well, it depends what type of toad, because some of them actually secrete toxins, so I wouldn't recommend licking toads. That could be either your passport to a very exciting evening or your passport to hospital. Maybe both. So maybe not with the toads, but with the frogs you're probably okay. But you can always stick them in water, give them a little bit of rummage around, and then lick them. That's fine. We're not licking stuff. It's a metaphor. Then you must juggle it, mate. Yeah, fair enough. Depending on the road, you're toad. At least we're off clogs. We're gonna have frogs and toads in clogs in a minute. I know it's coming. Whoever's gonna say it, get out of your system. Right, what are we doing next? I'm moving on. I'm not gonna stick with this insanity. You can make it yourself. Larkbeard, you can make it yourself and then revise some prices much more reasonable, if not cheap. Realise. Yeah, I can imagine. There's so many people that do LARPing I've seen have got these mad skills for making their own stuff, which huge respect for. And I guess that is kind of a wallet defense mechanism. If I do it myself, then, truly amazing. It's like the same with cosplayers. That's why I think mentally I put them in the same group. And you see some of the things that cosplayers do. There's that person from the US who's got breath cosplay for Warcrow that's flapping around. CB were talking about it today, and it's just like, that is so freaking cool. That is really, I mean, I'd look terrible in it because, you know, breath is female, but I also not a big one for cosplay, but I think the work that goes into it is phenomenal. Constantly amazed, constantly blown away. It's just these gifted, clever people. Show saying. So we're going to do the review of this week, but my good friend Ed Buddy, Phoenix Blade, this weekend. So you've probably seen I've been harping on recently about the Corvus Games terrain and all that stuff. So I got some of it this weekend. I got paws on. The sharp-eyed of you will have seen them in the pictures that have been kicking around Facebook and Twitter and Discord of the tables that were at the event. But pre-review, I want to show it to you guys because it's the Kickstarter is still ongoing at the moment. It's €40, so I don't know what that is in dollary dues or dollars, but not much, for like a massive number of STLs. I'm going to do a review of it and I'm going to go into it in more detail, but I wanted to show it to you guys on stream because, I mean, it's a thing. So, first of all, what I'll say about this stuff is my good friend Phoenix Blade, who printed it, said it takes a long time to print because there's a lot of detail in this stuff and it does chew up quite a lot of stuff that goes in 3D printers. I so cherish my ignorance. I don't know. And I'm glad to not know. It's brilliant. Hang on, just to make sure. Gonna have to turn in again. Psycho, always a pleasure to see you, buddy, and congratulations on doing so well at the event on Sunday. That was epic, my friend, and I hope you're suitably proud of yourself, especially with a meme list. Good job, buddy. Rest well, and I will see you soon. Don't let the clogs bite. How would clogs bite? No, I'm not rising to it, Blob. I'm not rising to it. Do it myself for cheap, boys. Woven silk damask fabric, $70 a yard. Dear God. Well, as long as you're happy. So anyway, this terrain stuff. So it takes a while to print, and you're going to see more of it in the review, especially of like the print process and stuff. So that's going to happen. Here's what's bugging me about Melee and Infinity: me rolling 3 crits and the opponent cancelling the whole combat with a single crit roll of their own. Great, Mike. That sucks. The thing is, I get it. There is always that slim chance, and when that slim chance happens, it sucks. But yeah, sometimes it goes the other way. Right. Let's show this. I've got a few things to show. So I'm going to show you one of the small buildings first, and this is one of the small buildings. I need an Infinity miniature. I don't want to use that one. I'm going to use that one. Oh no, I'm going to use that one. I'm going to show off that I still haven't finished painting this. So this is like a little food bar that we've got. Now, I don't know if you can see well, you can see the detail in this. I know you can see the details because I'm showing it to you. This is how it comes off the printer. I mean, the interiors as well. You know? For scale, the great thing about this is kind of, it's maybe a little, it could even maybe be a little bit shorter, but it's a good scale for Infinity. It's a good size, and like it's got the lugs on the top and the holes, so it just clips on, and then that's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere at all. So this shows you the kind of thought processes that have gone into this. Like this little vending machine, like magazine stand here. It's the kind of attention to detail that's gone into this stuff, which is why we should support it. But I'm going to show you some of the other stuff. So we've got like ladders that hang off the side of buildings. They're printed, they clip on. But the great thing about that is you can just, oh, that wobbles, look at that, that wobbles. I didn't even know that. It's a little clippy thing. That's amazing. Anyway, so that can go on the side of a building, and then you can take it off and you can put it somewhere else. But also, when you're storing it, you can keep your ladders safe so they don't unclip and get broken. What do next? We have buildings like this with the stairs on the outside. There is one. This one does have a roof, but I just don't have it here right now. But again, this is as this came off the printer. It is absolutely freaking gorgeous. We have risers as well, so if you want to put different layers, different heights on there, let's do part at the moment, I'll glue that together. But there's like 3 different heights of this and multiple different shapes, so you can build, and the hex is already in there, so you can build different layers. And you see the gaps. The clippy system, I'm assured by Mr. Van Diem that this is a standardized connection process that has been done, and it clips in beautifully on there. Under stairs is solid, easier to print, but sucks for placing miniatures on the stairs. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They're okay. There are, yeah. I see what you mean, Larkbeard, that stairs can be an issue. You also have these ones, which can be placed elsewhere, and they have the gaps for the bases, so they should clip a little bit better. That works. These are good. So you have this. And the last thing I want to show you, big old building. This is actually the top of the objective room. This is not the objective room. Objective room is elsewhere, but this is the top of the objective room. The thing I want to show you is here, this guy here, because you see this is a club. It's got a little sign on the outside. And you have lots of little things that have got like detailing on the outside of them that you can remove. For storage, abso-frackin-lutely. I love this kind of thing, but when you're storing boxes together, having a little sticky outy bit that you can't remove just means that nothing, you can put something to there, but if it gets jammed, it's going to snap. It's just nice. These kits are just so lovely, or these files are just so lovely. There's some more detailing there. Just you can see what these are. As you can see, I've not cleaned it up, so it's still got some bits and pieces through it. I mean, they're just great. These guys are just, I'm gonna see that these stairs. Yeah, these stairs are not going to be functional. These ones are not going to be functional from the perspective of gameplay, which is a bit annoying. But even so, I still think this is a phenomenal set. That's the only downside that I've seen. Thanks for ruining it for me, Larkbeard. Appreciate that. But no, fair point, well made, my friend. So yeah, so this is on Kickstarter at the moment. This is from Corvus Games Terrain, and I believe that the standard Munchkin pledge is €40. So you get, that's not even, I mean, I've got a pile of stuff here. This is the roof of a laundromat that we have in here. It's just, yeah. I could show you stuff for the next half an hour. Like this little this is a little noodle shop, as you can see, and those little holes there are to hold things like, you can put like an extractor fan in here, and you can put like the utensils dangling down and stuff. And then you get the little roof on top, and again the slidey little sign gaps down the back here, so you can put signs in. It's really nice stuff. This is the roof of that little shack. I mean, I could show you this all night and not get bored. Some idiot's going to paint it, hey, but so cool. I've already backed and thrown a bunch of recommendations their way. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yes, that stuff's coming out, and you should definitely, if you haven't already, treat yourself. So, Toad and the Clogs on the Discord. Oh, for God's sake. Looking good. It looks really good, but it felt a bit too big on the table. Noted, Sven, thank you. With a Keshgrin, but my brain won't let me rest. Can you fit your head into the 2 larger buildings? No, you can't. I mean, you might be able to, but I can't, Bob. There's just too much, you know? Especially when I climb or jump them. Yeah, I'm starting to think that, especially putting the miniatures next to them, whether they need to be reduced slightly in percentage size. Maybe that's the thing that needs to happen. Like 10 or 20% off would be a good thing, because they did look chunky on the table. Painting in Infinity. Mike Pierce, really need to get a 3D printer. I need to stay away as far as possible from 3D printers. I do not want to get involved in that. The amount of people that spend so much time around me talking about the setup and the config and all the rest of it of their printer, I am amazed. It's brilliant, but I'm not doing it. I'm not getting involved. Oh, for goodness sake. My Streamlabs keeps going berserk on people using caps. Dear Lord. Apologies. I'll sort that later. I can take it back and shoot it, I think. Anyway. You'd love to paint a little noodle shop. No, Streamlabs does not like caps. I plugged it in, turned it on, and just like, yeah, we'll see what it does. Apparently, it just goes, you use caps, stop it! Monstrous. I'd love to paint a little noodle shop. Well, you know, if you want to paint a little noodle shop, you let me know. Last I see, there is bubble hydrogen models. Yeah. Do not tempt the man. Always tempted. Always tempted. So anyway, there's going to be the review of that. That's coming probably this week, because it's all sat here, and then I can start painting it and stuff. Who am I kidding? So I can put it into a box and think I should paint that. Blissful Badger, I've had 3 paint printers and failed to get much beyond headaches from them. I've considered a new FDM but refused to try resin again. It's such an intensive hobby, Blissful Badger. There is so much stuff around it and so many thoughts. I mean, I understand that these are kind of hit the button and just leave it alone for a couple of hours a day. I think this set took the best part of 2 weeks to print, from what Phoenix Blade said, but there's so much involved with it, and I don't have the brain space, and I think you need to know about that about yourself, and decide whether the itch is worth the rub. And for me, it's not. It's just not. I don't have the interest. I had to retry. I also had a brainworm about the scale of infinity and density of the terrain. Could I technically make a workable terrain that's just the interior of an IKEA? Yes, you could. As long as they're, well, actually it's a bit close on IKEA. You need longer ranges for your heavy machine guns and your sniper rifles. But in theory, yeah, you could do that. If I do that, I'll probably get my wife to spend the entire weekend playing there. That's not fair. Just Saturday. Streamlabs does not like caps. It does not like caps at all, that's true. It's a cap, yes, it's a caps hunt out here. At least it's not a clog hunt. That's progress. That is progress. So, yes, review of that this week. If my soul can bear it, I'm going to finish painting it. So this stuff over my shoulder, this is the Ostfront other set from Micro Art Studio. And it's, I'm going to grab it, bring it. It is another, this is, I did the review recently of the Stalingrad stuff, and it's lovely, and this is also lovely, as you can see here. It's just really, really nice stuff. You know, I haven't got the door on there yet, but it's really, really nice stuff. But it is slowly crushing my soul, because you have like, these are separate bits from this bit, and then you have the window, the bottom of the window frame and the top of the window frame is separate from the window frame, which is separate from the actual window frame with the window in it, which also needs gluing in. And it's just like a constant, this bit gets glued on, then 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 this bit gets glued on, and then you can do the window. God, look how many windows there are. There are so many windows in here. It's one of those things where when it's done, oh my goodness. But right now, oh my goodness. So I'm losing my will to live with it a little bit. Just a smidge. Just a little button. But yeah, hopefully that'll go out this week as well. I'm just going to be a bit of a terrain week this week, so I can cross those off the list. I still have another set of terrain that I need to review. But yeah, that'll be those. And they'll be done, and it'll be great. Entering the IKEA Blitz. Are you doing all interior boards ever? I've seen and played on interior boards, and they have problems, but food court and flat pack warehouse parts could offer longer ranges. Are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, are we doing a Dice Gods interior IKEA board? That would be amazing. Can't believe they've not done files for a clog shop. I would love to say that I can't believe you're checking, but I can. I need to reach out to a 3D artist friend of mine. Oh God. Hey! Chris, welcome. Long time no see, buddy. How are you doing? How's tricks? You well? I hope you're doing good, buddy. Get some 3D printed clocks off, for God's sake. What I need to do is at the satellite tournament in May is find a way to get everybody shoe size and then give everybody like slipper clogs, because you can get them. So they look like clogs, but they're slippers for indoor use. I mean, why wouldn't you? With little dice god symbols and stuff. I mean, why wouldn't you? Ian dragging? What am I missing? That looks like an error in hitting enter. But yeah, there needs to be more clog merchandise. I will sort out more clog merchandise at some point. I want to sort the merch store out. I have a merch store and I need to get it up and running. You're dragging. That's rough, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. You said in DM, so I hoped things would be improving. I'm sorry to hear that they're not necessarily. That's very disappointing, buddy. I hope there is light on the horizon, especially with the festive season ahead. I hope you're going to get a break and a rest. Very seriously. Sorting that treasure token this week. Glorious. I can and I can't wait all at once. And I think when that happens, you need to let me know and get the SCL over it. Let me know what I owe you for it. And I'll get Mr. Van Diem to print it, because then we don't have to worry about any import and export stuff. This is good. This is good. So what's the... Hang on, I've got... What is... no, I can't do that. You got that one here? Does it? Party of 9 followers. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Thank you for raiding Moby Geeks out on Twitch. That was very, very cool of you. I really appreciate that. That was very, very nice. I'm trying to figure out... I'm still trying to get a... get to grips with everything that goes on with Twitch. I'm just going to try something on Twitch. So Twitch people, I'm sorry, I just want to see whether this does what I think it does. And I think if it does what I think it does, it's going to send ads. So I'm sorry, but I need to know. If I push the button, and then if I go over here, does that do the thing? I don't know. Ooh! I think it did the thing. I think I just sent Twitch to ads. Oh, I'm that guy now. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, probably not. Chin up. That is such an English response. Chin up. I love it. I do. I miss that. Oh no, it's in 33 seconds it's going to happen. Oh, there's a countdown timer. Oh, now it makes sense. I see. So you do the thing and then it... Ah, okay. I got it. Sorry, Twitch. I think in like 30 seconds you're going to go to ads. I've never had to say that in my life. And we're going to an ad break in a minute, so brace yourself. Keep up, keep calm and clog on. That's more like it. Clog army. Makes it sound like we're a group of constipated people. It really does. Oh my dear. You feel used. Good. Welcome to my life. That was my intention. I hope you feel dirty as well. Oof. That? Ah, what's going on? I don't know if it's working. Anyway. Sorry, I'm going to stop poking buttons now, because I've got to try and learn this stuff, but the only way... and now a word from our sponsors. The only way you can find out is by doing the thing, and it doesn't seem to do the thing. So... Oh. I see, I'm being told off. I'm not... Apparently it ran an ad. I didn't... Oh, did it? No, it didn't. I don't know. It says it ran an ad. I remain dubious. But as long as... If I can get it to think it ran ads and never have to do it, I'm sure that's a better thing. So what all did I miss tonight? So far you have missed, Chris, the Corvus terrain. We've been looking at that. I'm talking about the fact that this is slightly too big. It needs a bit more small, so that it's actually functional, but it's very, very good stuff and highly recommended. If you have a 3D printer, you should have to turn that out, check that out. And that our newbie tournament last weekend went incredibly well, and that we had 22 players for Anarchy, and that Sven is no longer a newbie, even though Yeah, well, I don't think he was anyway, but he's definitely not. Well, he's definitely not one now. Too violent, definitely too violent. So yeah, there's that. I talked about Alan, the alien that now lives above my head over here. So doing the streamer setup, I had to have an alien on there. I'm a huge fan. Clog Army of Akon to Cementa. No, we're not having no. No. You missed the update as well on my, speaking of Akon Cemento, you missed these. That's how my Akon Cemento is going. There is another 12, 13, 14 miniatures to go in there that are on the way, but that's how it's gone so far, which is completely bonkers. I thought it was going to take 6 months. It took less than 6 weeks. It is not stuck. Oh, Larbid, you halfway through the Akon Cemento video. Awesome. I had fun with that. It was nice talking about them again. It was nice being like, yes! I know, I haven't done that yet, because I'm going to unbox it and show it to you but as I unbox it, because I've not opened it yet. Toads in clogs, yes. I talked about licking frogs, because if you have a job you don't want to do, it's like needing to lick a frog. If you have to lick a frog in the course of the day, the best thing to do is get it done first thing, because then you don't have to worry about it again, because the frog has been licked and it will remain licked. But, yeah. Anyway. I'd recommend the Star Wars terrain from Corvus Terrain. I think it's called Midrim City. That sounds cool. That sounds... Yes, we're opening it, Blob. We're opening it, because then I'm going to do a review later. It's just stuck on an ad. I probably need more remotes and tags. Everyone needs more remotes and tags. No, so hang on. So with the, I'm going to go through what's in that Akon video in a minute, picture in a minute, so you know what you're looking at, because it's just stuck on an ad. Can you refresh, Neil, on Twitch and see whether that clears it for me? Sounds very Jungle Fighter review. Clog Army of Akon Cemento. Hell no. Use it for infinity. Yeah. In my experience, licking the frog is something to look forward to, as it often leads to tripping clogs. For God's sake. Blub, stop it! Or we're not opening the box. If you persist, no box for you. You should be boxless. Use it for infinity. Noted. I can imagine. Yeah, Legion stuff is probably going to be good anyway, but... Sounds very Jungle Fighter of me licking frogs. Yes, it does. We survive in the jungle by licking the frogs. I shouldn't look at the camera while pouring a drink. Because then there's that moment of, oh, am I going to cover my desk? That was just for the blog pun. Don't lick frogs, don't do substances. Substances, I don't know what you mean. Pure as the driving frickin' snow. Right. Licking the frog is a new community. No, it's not. Oh, for God's sake. It is legitimately a sales training thing that you get. It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm not trying to make licking frogs a thing. It's a thing, all on its own. But so. Nuclear Kid, hey, good evening, welcome, hello, buddy. If you crept in and said hello earlier, I didn't see you, so I apologise, but welcome, my friend, good to see you. As opposed to lick a frog, which would be a very different experience. Also, hi all. So I'm like, you never need to be sorry. As long as you're here, it's great to have you, bud. How have you been? Sounds like an episode of Family Guy with the lick frogs to get high. Yeah, that, oh God. We got those in demo, actually. What, frogs? Licker frogs? I don't know, I'm so confused. Not really sorry, I do what I... Thanks, Nuclear. It's just like, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not Siri. I don't care. I turn it when I want. I leave when I want. You are just a crazy maverick, and I applaud your independence. You will not be constrained to my stream. Damn it. Appreciate it. It's a dark chocolate frog filled with caramel and a liquor cream. Dear God. Tasty. That sounds good. I like liquor, and I like caramel a lot. I like caramel more than I should. Like the stream, guys. Like me, validate my existence. You missed the ad. Yeah, I don't know what happened, Neil. I don't. It said that it did one. It said I can't do another one now for a bit. I just work here. I wouldn't do that if I get a proper job. We should all rename the whip roll off at the top of... No, we're not calling it licking the... For God's sake. I swear, if I go to the Interplanetario and I hear a group of players talking about licking the frog as they approach the table, someone's going to get banned. That's all I'm going to say. I'm doing okay. Got a bunch of writing and painting bits and bobs done today. I'm making Squigmus tree for a competition. Nice. That's very cool. Yeah, I've heard of Squigmus before. That's awesome. That's very funny. I posted the picture of the liquid frog on Discord. Stop it. Every time I come off of my stream, I'm like, oh, I enjoyed that. It was really, really nice. And I go to Discord. Neil's posted a picture of my face looking stupid. I mean, it's not hard, but you know. And now we've got all sorts of random stuff in going on. For some reason, Shyness is there licking the frog. That is a frog that is safe to lick. Well, I don't know. I think toads are mostly the. Well, no, there's poison arrow tree frogs that you shouldn't lick as well. I've wanted to keep frogs, but it's a bit of a faff. I'm not good with faff. It's not, it needs a lot of attention. You need to do a lot of things, and I'm not good with doing a lot of things. Just about do one thing at a time, but remembering to do lots of things at a time, it's not really one of the options. Don't really wish it was. So, anyway, that was completely derailed. We've got 13 minutes and I've got to look at this box yet. Or should I just wait till I'm off stream and then caress it myself? Maybe. Anywho, we're going to do that in a second. So after 10 or more games, I finally figured out more of the rule of Cool Army, and I have to say that it's a nasty army. I put 2 and 2 together, just like holy crap. That was the rule of Cool Army that was in one of my videos, wasn't it? I seem to recall. Good. If it was, out frickin' standing, Marine. That's what I like to hear. If you're not good at doing a lot of things, how do you play Infinity? Because playing Infinity is a state of zen. The harder you make it, the worse you are at the game. One should just relax and be a leaf on the breeze and complete unspeakable acts of violence. It's pretty, Right, I'm doing it. I'm rewriting my Escalation League pack to include the league. For God's sake, stop it! But include the Escalation League. Whack it in the thing. And the box. Yes, and the box. 3 tags. Oh. Good job. Outstanding. I'm glad that it's starting to click. It was very much a rule of cool fun list, but it can work. So that reminds me, somebody asked the other day whether I could put all the PowerPoints together that I use as the basis for those conversations in a PDF and stick it on and sort of make it available. And I don't know. I don't know whether members want that. If members want that, let me know. Because I keep all of them. Because occasionally I'll be like, what did I say? And I have to go back and refer to it. So, to play Infinity, one must annihilate one's ego and sit on a mountain for 30 years going om. To be fair, I know some people would be infinite better players if they spent 30 years on a mountain rather than playing the game. Oof! Oof! I went there. Yeah. Do you know one of the things that would make a lot of players a lot better? And I mean seriously, it's one of those things when it's obvious when you think about it, but it needs to be said sometimes. I'll come back to you on that one, Chris. One thing that would help a lot of players to be better in the game, as a very serious point, is to remember it's a freaking great game. This is fun. This is your hobby. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I swear to God, it looks. There's some people. I watch them playing Infinity, not within my community, but outside. You see them playing Infinity, and it looks like they're getting a colonoscopy with razor wire. It's just like, are you okay? This is a game. Just breathe. You're going to be fine. You're going to go home to your wife and your kids. They don't care if you lost. It's going to be fine. Some people need to remember that. Your one question, Chris, is how many fast pandas is too many? One more than you need. That's too many. But up until then, you keep going. Just. Fun fact, I wrote 2 published academic papers on the topic of growing plants in vivariums that house poisonous dart frogs. That's cool! Neil, you are a man of hidden talents. Every time I turn my back on you, I look back around and there's something new that you have, a new ability, a new skill that you bring to the fore, and I'm like, I never knew. Want a how to win each scenario videos. Yes, I know they're coming. My goodness. I have more ideas than time, and it's a problem. And I have to earn money too. So, Little Kid, I have a Tunguska Force purely because I like the models, but if I actually played, I would use the Hollow-Man 5-man link because beep boop, we've got your money. I only go 4, you don't need the 5. Only go 4. Save a couple of points, use it on one other stuff. But yes, the Hollow-Man Fire Team, although arguably just the Harris. Arguably just the Harris. But yes, they're a lot of fun. Pop-tarting up with a robot with a missile launcher never gets old. And I can always just imagine it from the enemy troops' perspective as this robot launches itself into the air. A missile comes screaming across, blows across half their friends just explode. It disappears back down. And a couple of minutes later, another one pops up over there with a Spitfire, guns down a few more friends. By this point, he's absolutely quaking in his boots and, not having the best of days. At which point, a final one comes bounding around the corner with a boarding shotgun and poof, glorious. I think that Hollow Men, in their own right, are a war crime, and as they should be. Yeah, I'm suddenly reminded of the "should you lick the science" meme. Oh God! If you don't understand it, don't lick it. Yeah, Harris F team of Hollow Men is peak. It is because you can stick in the Spitfire, the missile, and the boarding shotgun. Although I don't really do that. I don't tend to do the missile launcher. Much as it's hilarious, I don't tend to actually do the thing. Because it's just not necessary. Not with the way I play. I like to be more aggressive with them. Because I think they also have a template weapon, don't they? So it's way more fun just to get them down the board and be like, haha, surprise! I shot you on the way in and now I'm going to just go boot off. They are brilliant. Although they are still not the best drone trooper in the game. That is the Karakuri and will always be the Karakuri. They are glorious. And I will never forgive Corvus Belli for including the Karakuri in Shinden Butai in the N5 lawbook and then removing it by the time they released the army in the game proper. I bought Karakuri to go in Shinden Butai and then they took them out. Oof. Double Spitfire, hell yeah. Avatar is quite good. Excuse me. With a capable player, the Avatar is deadly. With an experienced player, the Avatar is a victim and it's over very quickly. I've told this story so many times, but at the Interplanetario a couple of years ago, I faced a player with an Avatar and I got to go first. I got to go first turn. And at the end of my first turn, his Avatar had 1 wound left of 3. This made him a little bit cautious, and he didn't really use it for the rest of the game until the very end of the game when he had nothing left. And he charged it down the board, and I critted it to death with a combi rifle. Which is what we call an insult, to be honest with you. But it was a funny one, and that's really important. So, I asked because the Rule of Cool army has baggage and a hacker that uses Fast Panda, 2 Salamanders and Anaconda. Yeah, no, absolutely. Just keep getting them out there. The Anaconda. I have 1 Anaconda. And then somebody pointed out that I could have 2 Anacondas if I did French. And I want to do French. Not this year, not next year. Maybe the year after. And I could get the new Anaconda, which is a pretty sweet miniature. Although that price, oof. Bit much if you ask me. But, Right. Neil, are you still in Twitch? If you're not, can you get back in Twitch and let me know when you're there? Ping me when you're in Twitch, because I want to see whether these ads actually work. Because they didn't work for me, but I want to see whether they actually do a thing, or whether it just goes, "Oh, you did an ad," and then doesn't actually do a thing. So let me know when you're there. I have a mission for you. Very exciting. And also, if you have got a Twitch account and you could give me a follow over on Twitch, that would be amazing. This is the link to the Twitch. Even if you don't watch that, even if you watch on YouTube, just give me a follow because it validates my existence. And also, Twitch has this whole structure of the more you are there, cool. The more followers that you have and this sort of jazz, the more relevant you are. Right, I'm pushing the button now. I think I then get a countdown timer. Oh yeah, no, it should. I'm getting a 60-second timer. Yeah, I see you. Did that work? I don't know if that worked. Who knows? Let me know if that worked. Let me know if you're stuck in ads now, Neil. I got 45 seconds this time. Oh, that worked! Yay! The whole system worked. That's amazing. Nice. Oh, problems in there too. Awesome. That's awesome. Because I don't want it, because you have the option. You got ads. The message was deleted by a moderator. Oh, screw you. Look at this, me. Right, I'm going to disable that. Let's put the second part of the LED sign by Corvus Belly on the printer. Nice, LARP. More problems. Right. So that does work. Pushing the button on Twitch does do the thing. I'm very happy. That makes me very, very happy. In wildly appropriate fashions. Don't forget to follow on Twitch if you're in there. Thank you very much. It'll need to actually order the screen. Yeah. Well, that worked. I'm quite impressed with that. Okay, so that's good. Subaru and Geico, so they still don't know me. I'm back. Okay, I'm back in the room. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that worked. That's very exciting. Bring back the ads. Hang on. Where's the ban button? Can I? Oh, I can. I can. Can I do this? Wow. I'm allowed to give one of those, 3 of those, and that's very... I can gift subscriptions. That's amazing. I don't know why I would, but I can. Wow. Anyway, sorry. I'm totally back in everything. I've got all these toys, and you can only really play with it when you're actually doing it. So it's kind of like poke, poke, poke. I wonder what it is cost. I'll have to look up that when I get the new Anaconda. It pushes ads on YouTube as well. How does it push ads on YouTube? That's amazing. Worrying, but amazing. Didn't tell me that it did. Yeah, the new Anaconda's a bit expensive, in my opinion. Right. Euroblob's like, no, I got no ads anyway. Do you have an ad blocker, Euro? Do you? Is that you? Are you doing the thing? I bet you are. You do not. Yeah. Okay. Apparently the system just doesn't want to advertise to you. He's got no money. They pop up over the chat. Oh, okay. I get ads constantly on YouTube. Just not from me because I like you. Although I think because you remember that changes things a bit. Yeah, no, I know you can. I turn monetization on when I go, and then just leave it. YouTube Premium, no ads. I know you have YouTube Premium, which does mean that your views are worth a little bit more than everyone else's, apart from my members, because you know. Anyway, bring back the. I swear to God, I'm gonna poke the ad button on Twitch as soon as I can. Now that you said that, Neil, I'm deeply offended. And figured the Blob's wallet suffered enough. If the Blob's wallet still exists, poke it more. Get more. Right. Because it's now 11 o'clock, so technically it's the end of the stream. But we still have the thing to do. So, how am I going to do this? Do that there. Do this here. That's really annoying. And then put... That doesn't work at all. I had this great idea, but it didn't work. That's how we do it. Figure it out. But box and army update. What army update did you want? Oh, you wanted me to go. Oh yeah, I was going to go through the. Do we want to do an in-depth chat about what's on that picture of Acrosamento, or do we want to do the box, or do we want to do both? What do you want? It's up to you people. I've had no super chats tonight. It's because Kaz isn't in, and because I haven't given you a reason to super chat. But that's not the point. That button goes there. But box, yeah, Blissful Badger, I'm going to do it. Do we want both? I assume we want both. Because you're all greedy like that. Right, what I need is... Sorry, I'm just organising myself, which is a much more difficult thing than you'd think. Or flip a clog. I'm not flipping a clog. I'm not spinning the clog. Any more conversations about clogs, and you're getting none of it, and you can go to bed early. I wish somebody'd send me to bed early. That would be nice. I could do with that. I could definitely do with that. Goodness, there's like 20 odd people watching. This is amazing. We're growing. This is so cool. I don't really say it, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Monday. It's really, really cool. I tried the whole painting thing last Thursday for the first time. That was kind of cool too. I was going to say it went well. That was kind of cool too. We're going to do that. I'm not asking any... Right. Really? Not asking any amphibians, and we're not doing anything with footwear. I'm going to do the box. Early bedtime is gone. I know, Mr. Van Deen. And somebody said, go to bed early. You're like, really? When my mum stays, if my wife is away, or even if she's here actually, my mum stays, because she helps and supports and gets stuff done. It kind of puts the chill on the house. And about 9:30, I'm like, I'm so tired. I tend to go to bed really early when my mum's here. She's nothing. It's actually a compliment to her because I'm sort of chilled. You're off. Machine, good night, sleep well. Take care. I'll see you soon, brother. Take care. I'm a perpetual night owl. I am cursed with, from about 9 p.m, my creativity, my ability to work goes through the roof. Like, if you talk to me before 11 o'clock in the morning, I am of no value whatsoever. I have nothing to add to anything. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Oh, that reminds me. I did a thing earlier, and then I asked a thing of somebody, and I didn't. I just wanted to see whether somebody did the thing. Oh. Sorry, I mentioned to somebody earlier that I was going on stream, and they said they might pop in, but I don't know if they're going to. Sorry, back in the room. Delayed sleeping phase syndrome, quite possibly. No, it's just I've always been a night owl. I've always been. That's just me. Let's go for the fourth deep conversation. Night time brings peace from distraction. There's no one around. All is dark, all is quiet, all is calm. I find it relaxing. I find it focusing. It's great because if you're working, you can email everybody and they don't email back. Because there's nothing more infuriating. I had that thing where you try to get something off your list, so you email off to like 5 people answers to 10 questions, and they all come straight back. Like, no, you would, for that very brief fraction of a moment, you weren't on my list, but now you're back. I don't want you there. Go away. Now I need to deal with it again. And I didn't want to deal with it in the first place. Here we go again. You deal with it at night. You send all those emails out, and then you get up in the morning and you have the responses. Fine. That's fine. It's not a problem because I took it all off my list. It was pushed back to you. Your problem. Great. And I just work better until night. It's just me. My nature. I'm either a person or B person. I'm either a Z person or barely a person at all. Well, I didn't want to comment on that blob, but it's in the name. Bed is a time machine to breakfast. That's absolutely true, and I do like a good breakfast. That is absolutely true, Nuclear. It is a time machine. You know, I just like that at 4 a.m. No one expects anything of you. I can sit and stare at a wall for a solid hour and no one will remotely care. That's absolutely true, Blob. You can absolutely... Nixon. See whether the Dutch people respond to me pronouncing that poorly. But anyway, you can do precisely nothing and exist for a period of time. There is a joy to spending a moment existing. Absolutely. So, anyway, we're going to do... I don't know if I can do the thing that I wanted to do. Do I do this? Yeah, I probably can. The problem is I can't really point stuff, so that's very disappointing. Right, we are going to talk about the Aconsmento briefly, and then we're going to talk about, we're going to unbox the box, and then we're going to blow kisses at each other and say goodnight. That's what we're going to do. So, very briefly, Boof. So this set of stuff, I know it looks like there's a lot of stuff, and there is, but it's all there for a very specific reason. Bliss Badger, you're talking about needing more remotes. You don't necessarily, because Shock Army can have quite a few, but for some very specific reasons. Down the front row, you have the drone bots, your standard remotes, effectively. And on the left, you've got the Forward Observer, because the Forward Observer is a specialist that's really useful. We then have a Fugazi, which is just a 7-point flash boss bolt. So that is a cheap repeater that generates a regular order. Next to that, we have the Total Reaction one, because Total Reaction is always useful. You know, it's always good to have another sort of TR bot around the place. Absolutely. Then we have another Fugazi, because interestingly, Shock Army can actually take 3 Fugazi. So you can spend 21 points, get 3 repeaters, which can be pretty freaking useful, and 3 regular orders, which is, you know, great. But I decided to sort of cap myself at 2, to be honest with you. You do keep distracting me, Euroblob. I will hold you personally responsible for that. So just solitary environment and no internet connection. Yeah, shush. Anywho, behind those, the disgustingly Seocast ones. On the left is a Bulleteer, which I didn't really want. That just came in the set. I think it's Bulleteer. I think this is the right way around. Yeah, I think it is. And then next to it is a Peacemaker, which I did want. It's a forward deploying shotgun that gets on the very far left-hand side, the little bally thing. That's an Oxbot with a flamethrower. So that's a little charge up the board, set fire to everything. So that's why you've got so many remotes. If you look carefully, a couple of rows back, you have another couple of Oxbots, a couple of old-style Oxbots. That's because the Guardia de Salto, which I have 2 of, heavy infantry, also gets an Oxbot for free with it. So, and there's a oh god, I forgot the name of it. A specific type of Deverbot, the black guy, black robot. That is a that's going to annoy me now. I've got to look it up. Anyway, that's another type of remote that comes automatically with Skylar. So Charybdis, that's it. It's a Charybdis Deverbot. So those Oxbots all come with another bot. The Charybdis comes with Skylar, and the Drons are there because I want to have a bit of padding, bit of repeater. Specialist is useful, TR is always useful. The little crabby guy, that's a Crabot, that comes with the tags, but it comes in a blister with the Tech Bee, which is the little lady on her back with her knee up directly behind the last Dron bot in the middle. She is a little buffing unit for tags, and I'm going to run tags, so very, very useful. So that was a must, kind of a must take. That's kind of a rundown of why there's so many remotes there, because they all have a use, or they all come free with something else, so you kind of, you know. Can you circle who's who? Yeah, I was thinking about whether I can do that, but I think I'm going to have to change program to do that. So give me a second. I'm going to switch back to me. Ooh, fireworks. Switch back to me, and then I'll probably do that, because I should have done it in the first place, but it's, you know, I'm not that clever. Let's just call a spade, people. Let's just call a spade. Let me set this up, and I'll do the circly stuff, because that would have been easier in the first place. But I'm not that organised. Ooh, this one? Yeah, that one. So I'll do the circly stuff. Where did I put that picture? Oh, there. Is that? No, that's not it. That's a different. There's so many armies in my blooming box. Right. So we do that again. Split. Oh, that's the wrong button. Ooh. It's quite exciting now. I sort of get split there, don't I? Oh, no. Ah. This is going very, very well. Are you all very impressed? MS Paint! Yay. Look at me having MS Paint. You lucky ducks. No expense spared. No expense spared. That's what we're going for here. Only 3 tags. Tick, Blag and Drago are horrid. Yes, they are. Yes, I'm clever, but I can confirm. Right. We need a Don Quixote Knight with a... Right, so let's do this again. So down the front, is this working? Yeah, there we go. Let's get a bit of colour on that one. And make it a bit bigger. So this is a forward observer bot. These two here are your Fugazis that do the repeater bot job. Total reaction, HMG. This one, I believe, is the Peacemaker, which gets the flamethrower Oxbot with it. And this one here is the Bulleteer. So that's a sort of very standard, well, not very standard, it's a Mimetism -6 Spitfire heavy remote. So it's not standard at all, to be honest with you. These two Oxbots here go with these two Guarda de Saltos here. So these are fast moving heavy infantry, 2 wounds, 3 armor, BS 15, but with light flamethrower, light shotgun and eclipse grenades on those Oxbots, which is kind of potent. It's kind of useful, to be honest with you. His dad didn't work at Blizzard. Now you can print to be bonus software. So when I was working for Blizzard, no, never talks about it. Yeah, no, I've never mentioned this before, but I did work for Blizzard a little while back, and I won't be talking about that too much tonight. But anyway, so that's those. Then Skylar is here. That's Skylar the Aleph hacker, and that's the Charybdis there. That big guy there is a Charybdis. And then last of all, this is the Crabot that goes with all these tags up here, so he can pop out of those. Look at that, even like sunshiny stuff. And those are helper bots. Those are your servant bots that go with the Angel of Death, the Trauma Doc, and the Machinist here. So your engineer and your doctor support back. What else do you need to know? We have, so this here is a whole bunch of Knights Montesa. We have one on bike, the second one is ready to be built. And then we've got the Spitfire, which you can't use, boarding shotgun, which is a paramedic, and then the Red Fury there, which we can use. 2 Bag Marie. Now, this guy on the left here, that is the special edition Eduardo, which was really hard to get hold of. It was only available for ITS 8 as the tournament pack prize. And then they released it a couple of years ago, so now everybody has that, whereas the standard edition was available to buy in a box with Ulans, and no one bought that. So these are really rare, and those are really not now. So, you know, there's that. And this is a Drago. A Drago with the ammo belt on it, which you don't see a lot of, because a lot of people either don't use it or it breaks. Smash or pass the list too. For goodness sake. Fugazi is such an odd thing to name your piece of military equipment. Gentlemen, these are our latest and finest weapons, introducing the Fugazi, Snafutron, and the Balls of Fire. I mean, it's only a matter of time before some blooming faction ends up with those, to be honest with you. I can see that happening. We need, yeah. So, what else do you need to know? So, of these two, the two ticks are high-speed mobility tags, so they're a bit smaller. They're S6, so they kind of get up your face. Armor 6. I think they're only BS 14. I think. Light flamethrower, heavy flamethrower, machine gun, heavy machine gun, and I think mine layer as well in there, and climbing plus. So they really are get up, smush. And then your Drago has the hyper rapid magnetic cannon on his shoulder. It's this big piece just here. So that is a burst 5 armor piercing or shock weapon, basically. Same range bands as a heavy machine gun. He's just a weapons platform. Literally, that's his whole shtick. And then he's got a heavy flamethrower as well, if you need that too. These over here are my Akali. This is Sing, the character. And this is a standard rifle and this is a Spitfire. So those are drop troopers, basically. 3 of the new style of regular, 1 Spitfire, 1 sniper rifle and 1 combi. You're going to see a lot of these over the coming months, guys. So get acquainted. And then here is a whole tribe of Bagmarie, which we adore. I've got 2 heavy machine guns, a hacker, a combi, Lieutenant Stephen Rao, the sniper and the boarding shotgun. So these can run in a fire team. You can have 5 of them in your list in total. So I'm kind of maxed, but I'll probably only run them with a Harris of hacker, HMG and combi. That'll probably be my preferred loadout, but we'll see. Then what else do we have? A pair of naggers. So infiltrating camo specialists and mine layers. So we've got a mine layer and a hacker. Always good to have, from courtesy of LF, whip 14 from memory. Who else we got? Dart, Agnes. So she's a rem buffer, so she'll give like this. If I take these guys, Agnes will give them +1 to their BS, and I think +9 CC or then +3 CC, which is completely irrelevant, but good to have anyway. And that's a Beast Hunter. So if you've come across Beast Hunters before, that will not be a surprise. But I can run the Beast Hunter with my Pano. I just can't run the very Asian looking Beast Hunter with my JSA, because clearly that would just be silly. That would just be daft. Who knew? Military has the silliest names. Yeah, they do have. The military does have the silliest names. That's absolutely true. So, right. Hang on a second. I would 100% field a balls up fire. I would too. Nuclear kids. Yep. Oh, you're off, Robin. Take care. Sleep well. Lovely to see you as ever, my friend. Good night and sleep well. Don't let the bed clogs. Oh, for God's sake. Actually, why can't the Beast Hunter be run in JSA? It seems like it'd be a slam dunk, because they have a different unit that does the same job. That's the whole reason. You have inside of there. Gonna forget the names now, so that won't work at all. Wasn't those? Was it those? No, it wasn't those. There's another unit that does the exact same job as them in that particular force. Ah, there we go. It is Kyojin Killers. The Kyojin Killers is basically a poor man's Beast Hunter, but a bit cheaper. So they don't include them because that's why. Right, so at 11:18, the last thing we can do. I'm going to open the box. I'm going to open it down. I'm going to open it in front of here. Oh, it's always nice. See, they're really compact boxes, which, you know, you've only got 3 miniatures in here, so it's kind of understandable. But I'm going to start with the cards, because of course we are. So we ran through these previously. One thing that I do like about these cards is they are good quality. You're going to need these to play. And although you do have the free army builder online, I'm still old-fashioned. I like a good card. I do, and it's nice that these are really nice quality. So the box is Queen's Blade. So this is the this you can pre-order now, and it will come out. You'll probably get it in January, I think, if you pre-order it now. So this is the reinforcements pack for the coalition of Thenian, aka Murder Elves. So these guys are very, very badass. There's no two ways about it. They are very, very badass. And with the way that Eldfall works, you're kind of at a point now where you're going to be running 85-point armies. That's kind of the scale that we're at. It used to be 65 point, we're now up to about 85 points. So that will be 4 miniatures. Now your starter box is 4 miniatures. You can buy another reinforcements pack called the Wayfarers, which is actually back there somewhere. Somewhere back there. Anyway, is the Wayfarers box, and that contains another 2 miniatures, so you can get up to 6. This will add another 3 to your set. So you're going to be at 9 miniatures in an army or a game where you take rosters of 4. So there are a lot of different combinations, and these boxes, these reinforcement boxes, are set to add really interesting ways to play. So one of the great things about this particular set is the Brethren Elite, this young lady here, because she has a load of stratagems on the back, which means that she can be your leader, and she can, a stratagem basically, you can change it at the start of each turn. You activate an ability, and it changes the way that your whole army plays because it gives different buffs. So what can this do? Rogues and assassins gain hit and retreat and backstab. So this little unit here is both an assassin and a rogue. He gets 2 special rules straight away because of her ability. Because of her stratagem. So this leader is different from the existing one, the existing Nightshade, which is the main leader that you have for Thedian already. You switch this one in, it changes the way that the entire army plays, because you've got a whole new set of abilities that trigger with everyone else, and bring different ways to play the game. These guys are really, really cool though. They are, as ever with Murder Elves, this one's got 2 wounds, this one's got 1 wound. So they are very, very squishy. But the idea is that you get in and you just nuke. It's proper glass cannon stuff, but having seen my wife use the Murder Elves to take out, in fact, Problem, who's just left, Robin, his army in about 2 turns. It's just filth, to be honest with you. What's the questions? What's the new book smell out of 10? Let me just. Actually, these boxes aren't too smelly, I have to say. Oh no, there it is. That's a solid 9 actually. It's a nice plastic smell without being too chemically. I approve of that. And gear box. Yay, Eldfall look, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want to say it. I don't want to agree with you, Euroblob, but there is a distinct. I love me some Warcry. I do. You know, I love this stuff, and it's phenomenal. But there are certain things, and it is things like the quality of the cardstock. Yeah, this box I think is €36 for 3 miniatures, so it's about €12 a miniature. Now these are all the entire range. They still put it on the box. No, they don't. They are high quality resin miniatures. They are Unicool. So these are all Unicool miniatures. Oh my goodness, so many pieces. But what that means is, let's just pop one of these open. Obviously you're not going to see them built, but things that you need to know straight away. First of all, on the bases, you have slots where the miniature's feet go, and you have a slot on the bottom to put a magnet in. So if you're a magnetizer, these come pre-made to make you happy. These actually got fire arcs on them as well, because this is another game where you have a front 180. So we have that. Oh, I've actually gone straight to the boss lady herself. This is the Blade Brethren Elite. So, can I show you this well? Look at the detail on that. And also, look at the lack of flash on that. It is just, I mean, there's a little bit just there. And they tend to do that where you have the points where it's been cut off the sprue. It tends to be the bit that ends up inside, out of the way. But if I take these legs and I do, see if this works. This normally does. Boop. And, oop, hang on. Oh, you have to see what I'm doing for a second. Boop. Oh! You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. But they do fit, like, just straight in. It's not tight, but they just fit in really well. So, yep, there we go. I'm going to throw them everywhere because that was guaranteed. But the details on the miniatures, the interior of the cloak. But again, it's kind of like spot the flash, spot the issues with it. There just aren't any. They just come beautifully. And look, all that lovely fluff that she has is already on the head. And let me just get the head in the shot there a little bit. Pretty Murder Elf. There's very small amounts of flash on here that you can just rub off with your finger. But that that will just sort of glue in nicely. I think we've got, yeah, a decent sized peg on the head there. So that will just clip in and glue on, and then the hair's already attached, so you don't have the issue that you have with some other systems where you have the head and then you glue the hair onto it. They've really thought about it. The blade needs a little bit of straightening, but they did a video where they said, right, this stuff has memory, so you warm it up and then just take it away and it will sort itself out. And I was like, will it? And I was building another one the other day. I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I stuck a very wobbly spear in water, and it just went bloop. Well, okay then. Didn't have to do anything. It just went straight. It just went as it should be. They're like, well, that works then. Do we want to have a look at any more of the miniatures? Should we get some more miniatures up? Right, love me some slot bases, yeah. I should have a go at that wall rig conversion where you can see both the drivers inside. Maybe take a break from various... Nuclear Kid, you should. The world needs it. I need to see that. And then that gives me a reason to buy another one. That's a nice quality mini right there. It is. They are really, really nice. And I think I have no issue with the price that Free Company charge for their miniatures. I think they're very, very reasonable. I think this box... maybe a little bit of heating and sort of straightening out of some of the miniatures, but on the whole, one of these miniatures, if they are like this, it's probably going to take me maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes to build. That's it in total. You know? Yeah, I get that modelling is part of the hobby, but this isn't that. This is just gluing together a multi-part miniature. It's monopose, it is what it is, you know? They are incredibly clean, Neil. They are incredibly clean. Please tell me nothing broke. No, nothing worked. Nothing. In fact, hang on, let me... where are you? Fluffums McQuack. There you go. That is the weapon I was referring to. This was a bit bendy. So, it's got a little bit of flash in there. Look, I missed. But that was very bendy, and I just heated her up. I can't see myself, so I need to... I heated her up and it just went straight. This is actually the same faction. This is another Murder Elf. She's she actually has 2 versions, and the other one rides on one of these, which is either going to do it for you or it's not. So you have the... I haven't glued her on yet. I've got to do a little bit more work on that one. But yeah, the other version of her sits atop the cat monster and goes woof. I faced one of those before, killed the damn thing in the first turn. Here, pussy. Anyway, more miniatures? You want to see more miniatures? Do you? In warm water. Oh, the exact light, yes. So, I'm going to do another miniature because I want to look at them as well. Oh my god, you're pretty. Is that? We got a bit missing for this one. Oh no, we don't. Oh, that's clever. Right. So again, this time we have a base. Sorry, that was not very interesting. That's the top of my head. So we have a base, and it's got some terrain on it. Because we have a foot on a piece of terrain. Come on, do the thing. Focus. Not on me, damn you. So we have a foot on a piece of terrain. We have an arm with a knife, stabby, which again needs to be warmed up a little bit. But then the rest is all one piece. And what a piece that is. So he's got, I thought he had an arm missing, but it's actually inside the cloak here. So you've just got this whole dramatic pose of like, that should fit in. Oh yeah. The arm just go, there we go. Just goes in there. So I'll straighten that and then just glue it straight. In fact, yeah, just glue it straight in. Oh, these are nice. Oh, that just sits. The leg just sits in. It's going to drop off in a minute, but yeah. Oh, they're just nice. the drama and the character of the miniatures, it really comes through. So who's that? That is our hired blade. So he's very squidgy, but he, for you Infinity players, he can infiltrate. He goes into a type of camo as well, I think. That's what Infiltration 2 does. Place the model up to the midline. Oh no, just outside the enemy's deployment zone. Stealth 2. Yeah, it can go into a shrouded state, so it goes into a camo state, which is horrific. But it attacks on a 15 or less. Do we get a buff? So you have, your damage is the T value of the weapon. And unlike Infinity, you roll to hit and then you roll to damage, basically. And that damage is modified by the armor of your target. So T, 10, you'd need to roll 10 or less to damage it. Doesn't sound great, especially if they start having armor. But on the back, we have this little ability. Aiming for the vitals, user's attack gains +6 power. So that 10 is actually +6. So he does 16 or less is a wound. And he strikes twice in a single attack. And I think Assassin and Rogue give him buffs as well, but I can't remember which. Because I don't play this faction, so I don't know what Assassin and Rogue does off the top of my head. But a gorgeous miniature. And actually, when he gets on top of you, he comes out of camo state and then goes straight in the face. That's going to ruin your whole week, or at least put a downer on it. If not ruin it, you're going to be a little bit like, oh, no. I didn't want to be stabbed in the face this week. Can you not come back next week? And so last but not least, we have the Fenrir Swashbuckler. And I love the names they give these guys. I do love the names they give them. Hang on, check chat, make sure everyone's okay. What faction do I play? I play Soga and Helion. So Soga is the Oriental themed army, who are all in their box at the moment. They're all out of the way. They are the most straightforward. They don't really do any magic-y type stuff. What we do is we get down the board pretty quickly. The only real magic we do is to give extra activations to our troopers. We have a little guy that can, a little woman, sorry, who runs along, casts a spell, and you get effectively another order. It's not, but effectively. So that's kind of the only magic we use. And then we get up close and we go stab. Or from a range, we use bows to stop you, to remove your orders, effectively, which is just horrible. I shoot you, you lose an order. I shoot you again, you lose another order. Ha The Weemstick Wielders. Thank you very much. I'm heavily considering the Oni. The Oni are gorgeous. I have an Oni. The tournament pack for this year contains one, and I won a tournament, so I have one. But the Oni only have... They're going to be a limited faction, so they're not going to be as broad as the other factions. They're kind of like a sub-faction, so just bear that one in mind. But this is also good, because then you don't have as much to collect, but... Weepstick Haver, it will make you a Weepstick Haver, definitely. And I also play Helion, who are paladins, knights, effectively. So right, last one, Fenrir Swashbuckler. We have that. We have, oh my god. She's running up a sword, people. She's running up a big old... This is an Oni sword as well, by those things. So she's just running up that sword, because that's how we roll. She's got a few more pieces than the last one. But, see, look, right. I know, can we get you to focus? Look at the underboob of this elf. Now, if I take the top part and I put that on there... You see how it just disappears? See how that whole joint is just gone? These miniatures are always so damn precise. Let's get in the middle. They are so precise. It amazes me. That's obviously you've seen me just open this box. That has not been cleaned. That's just come out of the box like that. There's a little bit needs cleaning up just here. Tiny little bit. A little bit needs cleaning up on the bit that goes into the base. Again, we've got that cinematic base, look, which actually, without cleanup, it goes in beautifully. So let me just, whoop, and just drop that back in. All on sparkly stuff. An elf on sparkly stuff. You'd have thought. That's so cool. She's got a few more bits to her. You got the face with some elfy bangs. Come on, focus, damn you. If I can get this to focus, use the correct hand. Is that a little face? Isn't she pretty? And then we've got a couple of pokey sticks. No, I'm not doing it. I did a bit, but I'm not doing it properly. And then some fluff. Because, you know, you've got to have, oh, some fluff and some sheaths. Scabbards. Sheaths. They're knives, aren't they? Sheaths. Yeah, I've not seen. There's not a lot to clean up on that one either. Oh, a little bit. There's the work. There's the egregious bit on the end of the very tip of the hair. Look at that. That sucks. That's terrible. Oh, these are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. I'm going to stick this video of me completely fanboying out on the review, because there's a review of these coming. That's part of this. Stick them together, show you what I think, and then talk about them tactically. But again, she's actually got 2 wounds on her. That's what the heart little symbol means. But again, offensive 15. What has she got? Duelist, dash, fencing 2. So her toughness 12, so she does T12. But, okay. Oh, she's horrible. She can run and then stab people in the face. That's just not friendly. Oh, that's not nice at all. I love it. She gets a buff. Oh, I love it. Anyway, very, very cool unit. The 30-inch swashbuckler. And 16 points. Only 16 points. On top here. You take 2. Will I take 2? No, because they're going to be my wife's. So I'm not going to allow her to have 2, because I don't want to be stabbed in the face by them when they judge across the table. That would be rude. Yeah, so how many points is in here? 16, 17, so 33, 36, 56 points in total here. So if you're paying 65, you still have some spare. But you'd probably, I guess you probably would mix and match these with other ones from the other boxes already. Very cool. So that is a very quick unboxing. That is a very, very quick unboxing. How does one obtain said tournament packs? No, you can buy them. You can just buy them from Free Company. They're available to purchase. Same as the Infinity ITS boxes. Exactly. Neil has your back, because I'm too busy absolutely just getting a bit emotional over a miniature. Anyway, more people on Twitch than there are on YouTube. Anyhow, I think that is enough for tonight. I'm quite done. 2 hours and 33 minutes after I managed to work out what was going on with my stuff. So thank you all. Oh, but as a private person, I'm out of luck. No, you can. Well, you can just buy them. You can buy them from Free Company. Remind me on Discord, and I will ping you the details. You can pick one up. But it's the one in the box for the tournament pack is an alt of an existing one. So if you get the box with them in, you're going to get a different, So just bear that one in mind. Anywho, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for enjoying my insanity and coming along. It is very cool, Bob. That was lovely to see you all. I think I'm going to be streaming a painty session on Thursday at some point. Thursday night I have my league game of Infinity, so I'm painting for that, so it's going to be prior to that one. But yeah, I hope you had fun. All of you who are members, I will see you on Discord during the course of the week, no doubt. But for the rest of you, I will be back here from 9 PM CET, 8 PM GMT next Monday. Have a great week. Look forward to lots of stuff coming from the channel soon. Throw lots of crits, beat your enemies, crush them before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. But thank you so much for joining me, and I will absolutely see you all again soon. Take care. Goodbye.